You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And he just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your test, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Gail. I'll see you later. Find someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Cotto.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Amacosta has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was on. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Ari Gold Boss, Black Ski Mask Joe, Kevin Horn, and Dave the Sinister. Dave, your picture has been on milk cartons because you've been missing for so long, man. It's good to have you back. How you been?
Oh, I'm great, man. It's great to be back. Ready to
man.
talk some boxing.
I fucking love boxing. MB Chu couldn't be here today because he's got his Christmas party. I know it's January, but a lot of people have their Christmas parties in January. So I'm going to try and get on the line for 5-10 minutes, give his thoughts about Rios Alvarado. We'll start off with that. Let me get to Kev. Kev, what did you think?
What's up, brother?
What did you think of the Rios Alvarado third installment?
First, I'm pissed that I'm too stupid to figure out how to save my predictions in the prediction league, so I didn't get any of the fights in. I picked both guys by unanimous decision, so I would have got some decent points. But I don't know. You hear all the rumors about Alvarado. You don't want to start saying anything until maybe like a post-fight drug test confirms it and shit like that. But and then you saw that whole shadow boxing thing and him at the weigh-in and just didn't look good. And the fight really just came off as much as a train wreck as everybody thought is the worst-case scenario of happening. The one thing I do say I was wrong about, and I was pleasantly wrong about, was how Rios looked. I mean, I was the first to say I know I always quote like Emmanuel Stewart like about people's like coordination and balance. And usually once a fighter starts losing it and they get old, they start losing their coordination and their balance and like their natural reflexes. And Rios just looked like shit against Chavez. And maybe that was like depression and not wanting to like be there and didn't train hard. But he looked real good. He looked physically as impressive as he's looked in a long time. His body physically looked better than when he was even with Ariza. He's never going to look like a bodybuilder or anything like that or like, one of these fucking like sick athletes, but he wasn't soft and pudgy like he usually is. He didn't have much extra body weight, and he looked good. He looked fast for Rios. He looked quick. And now we just got to see how much of that was Alvarado just being completely useless and how much was for real. But it looked pretty for real to me, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed because I thought maybe Alvarado's performance kind of made Brandon look a bit better than he was, because Alvarado was just standing in the pocket. Like, his guard wasn't even tight. Like, the first and second shots. He was
bending over for those uppercuts, everything.
Yeah, he was just doing everything wrong. So I don't know if I can fully give Brandon, like, full props. Having said that, he was throwing loads of punches. Like, I said it just after I actually fell asleep just before the fight started, so I woke up about 5 a.m. on my sofa, and I had the fight recorded on my Skybox, so I went back and I thought I'll leave the Ramirez fight till tomorrow and just watch the Rios fight, because I read on Twitter that it finished within 3 rounds. So I've gone to watch it back now, and I just think, obviously, looking back now, we know how Alvarado's preparation wasn't the greatest, but I do think Rios kind of caught him off guard a bit, just with the pace and how fast he came out the gates.
Exactly. Even if you would have just seen Rios working out on a heavy bag and do it like a public workout and look like that on the heavy bag, you would have been shocked, right? Because that would have been a far more athletic, fast, and impressive Rios. So,
yeah.
As much as Alvarado was right there for him and kind of letting him do it, I still think physically he looked as impressive as he's looked in years.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to try and get Lewis on, because he said if I can get him on close to the start of the show, it will be better, because he will be less drunk. I said I want him to get in near the end, because more drunk Chew would be fun. But obviously... Yo, Lewis. Chew.
Oh?
Yo, it's Cam.
Cam, what's up?
Yo, we're live on the show, Chew. Just want to get your thoughts about Rios Alvarado.
Cam, can you phone me back in 5 minutes, mate?
Yeah, no worries, Chew.
Sorry, my boss is phone. Thanks, bro.
No worries. Okay, let me get to...
Get back to cooking, you bastard. Cook that crow.
Seeing as though Joe's talking. Joe, what did you think of the fight?
Oh, man, it was a good fight, man. I mean, I don't know. I was actually not really looking forward to this fight, to be honest with you, man.
Wait, did you just say it was a good fight?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent fight. Look, man, because to be honest with you, I didn't really want to watch this fight. It was just like, there's nothing to do. Fuck it, I'm just going to watch this Bradon Rios Alvarado fight. I really wasn't too hyped about it. But when the fight started, man, I don't know, it felt pretty good watching that fight, man. It was, at least, is the exciting fight that I've seen so far this year. I mean, granted that we seen the heavyweights last week, but this one was actually pretty good. Bradon Rios, man, he caught me by surprise, bro. Like, his movement, he actually, the only thing that shocked me about this Bradon Rios compared to all the other ones was that he wasn't taking a lot of shots to the head, which is pretty good. Like, he did a lot of good movement, man. He was ducking punches, moving side to side. And he stayed in the pocket, man. And Bradon Rios is good when he's inside the pocket, bro. Uppercuts up the ass, man. But it was a pretty good fight. Mike Alvarado, he got caught in the first round. I don't know if you guys caught it, like, towards the end of the first round. He got caught with a good right hand, man. And then I think after that, I think it took, like, all confidence away, because after that round, dude, like, he was fighting like shit.
Yo, Joe, 2 things. One thing, for me, to be a fight, 2 people have to be involved, and for me, like, only Rios was involved in that, because Alvarado was just standing there doing nothing. And I think you're talking about Rios not really taking shots to the head, but Alvarado wasn't really throwing much. Like, the punch stats at the end, like, just showed, like,
didn't he only throw like 20 punches around or something?
No, I think he landed 20 and threw about 80 or something like that.
He threw less than 30 punches around.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna get hit very often when a guy's only throwing 30 punches.
And to be honest, there were at least 2 or 3 shots that I saw Alvarado land and not really stop Rios, but you could tell Rios felt them.
Yeah. But having said that, Joe, I do agree with you. Like, I wouldn't say it was a great fight, but, like, the first 3 rounds, the whole 3 rounds, were very amped up. The crowd were getting into it. The pace of the fight was fast. So I can kind of understand your point of view of, like, that you like the fight. I can get where you're coming from. But let me get...
the other thing, too, that I noticed, man, Mike Alvarado's fucking coach is garbage, bro. That dude is a fucking... Oh, dude, that dude is garbage. Gave him no fucking examples to what the fuck to do when he goes back inside the rounds. Just get into him, Mike. Just get into him. Just rock it out, Mike. You know, like what the fuck, man? What kind of bullshit is that? And then at the end of the fight, when at the post fight interview, he was trying to fight with fucking fans. What kind of bullshit is this, man?
Yeah.
That dude's a clown. Mike Alvarado, if he really wants to get serious, man, he needs to get the fuck away from Denver. He needs to get away from all those fucking bums and get himself a real coach, man.
No, he needs to get in fucking rehab. That's what he needs to do.
Well, Kev, I watched the second fight last week, and in the second fight, the commentary team were mentioning that Alvarado's cut man for the night was kind of being his trainer. Like, do you know who that was? And like,
not the bald guy, right?
Nah, I can't remember who it was, man. It was
yeah,
like
he's bald. He was the one that, if you watch like the Provatnikov 2 days, he was the one that was arguing about the hand wraps. He also wraps Alvarado's hands. I think that's the guy you're talking about, the taller guy.
I'm sure this guy was like imported just for that fight. I don't think he really works with Alvarado that much. But
I think, but yeah, I can't remember. I if it's not, I'm thinking of somebody different.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But
But
that corner was a
my
mess.
point was like,
oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
But my point was like, I would have tried to get him shipped in again, man, because I agree, man. Like, Alvarado's trainer is pretty trash, and Kev, I know you've been waiting for me to say it, but Alvarado needs a new trainer. But I think personally, Alvarado needs to quit, because even at journeyman status, I think he's just gonna get beat up by nobody. So why do you want to take that punishment?
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, this trainer I think is more of one of those blue collar type of guys who just wants people to give effort and train hard and stuff, which is fine. But I didn't see many technical things about him. But again, I mean, Alvarado's condition and state, doesn't matter who's in the corner. You know, there was not going to be a positive outcome of that fight in any bit. So
the other funny thing that you said was, you know, that he doesn't like take shit. He's like a blue collar guy. It was funny because Mike Alvarado was like saying, nah, call the fight. No, Mike, you're not calling the fight. I'm going to let you go back in. If I see you losing, I'm going to cut it myself.
Yo, what are the odds of him really seeing 4 and just say, I see 4 fingers? Come on, Mike, man.
You
just
guys
say I don't
know.
want to fight. Don't act like you can't see. I mean, he was playing with his eyes as soon as he got caught with that uppercut, but come on, man.
No. Can I go?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Aaron.
let's go.
Can I go? Well, didn't you guys listen properly? His he said, all right, go back out. Mike said no. I'm sure Mike said no. He said, okay. He called the ref over and said he's got double vision. How would he know he's got double vision when he hasn't spoken about his eyes to him? And
as soon as he first came over, he pointed at his left eye. He said, my eyes. And then he said both of them.
Yeah, but he never said double vision. Then the guy goes to the ref, double vision.
Yeah.
Then, of course, he goes to the ref, he says double vision. Mike already knows what they're doing. He brings him over to say, he puts the 2 fingers up. Mike says 4. They're just trying to get out of it. They were there for the check, man. And it's really pathetic.
And he got a good check. He was in his hometown. He got a prime first big fight on HBO card, and he fucking pissed it away.
He's getting married.
And you know what? Everybody, and then fucking Rios after the fight trying to say, he's a warrior. No, he's not a warrior. He's a fucking dirtbag. That's all he is.
Warrior. He went there for a check. He went there to get his little money for his wedding. He's done. He ain't coming back.
For his tuxedo.
That was for his wedding, man. His caller knew what was going on.
Okay, Ari, I agree.
He's done, man. He's a drug addict or whatever he is. He's done. I don't want to see him again. I don't think we'll even see him again.
Ari, I agree with everything you say, but just to play devil's advocate and play the other side, can we not give him the benefit?
He was higher than a motherfucker. He was stoned as fuck.
Can we not give Alvarado the benefit of doubt? Because we don't know if he's seen double vision or not.
No, I can't, because he didn't look like from round 1. He looked like he was there for that check, and they were ready for an excuse to end it.
Yeah, and like I said, you were hearing all types of stories about him only coming to the gym like once or twice a week, and all the other stories, which I'm not going to get into because we have no evidence of it, but you know what I mean. And you're hearing those things, and then when you see that shadow boxing with him in those like black leather pants, and he's throwing fucking shaking punches and shit, it's weird, and like you just know something was up. And like I said, you said you don't want to see him again. Like, even though I'm shitting all over him. Like, yeah, if he goes away for 6 to 8 months, cleans up his act, moves away somewhere, and then fights on some smaller cards and builds himself up and proves that he's like, clean and living a good life for 2 years or so, a year and a half or so, then everybody's worth another shot. I don't throw nobody to the curb, but he's got to do all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Cam,
And then once he's back on the big stage, he fucking relapses and gets high again, right?
Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I need some crow, you know.
Why do you need some crow?
I know on the show I said Rios, but maybe guys don't know. I actually, literally 2-3 hours before the fight, I changed to Alvarado.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that, man. There you go.
I was trying something.
Okay, all jokes aside though.
Something, it failed.
All jokes aside, MV2, I call it MV2. MV2 did the same thing. Like, what was behind your?
I don't know, man. Because I remembered, I was on a forum and I was reading one of my forums. So I won't shout them out. And then I was reading something, and I remembered I heard about where Rios had something's wrong with one of his arms, where apparently his shoulder or something like that. And
his left elbow, right?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, or something like that where they think it can't be fixed. So I remembered that. So I went back and thought, well, hold on, Alvarado won the second fight. Alvarado won the second fight. So I'm thinking he can maybe box from the outside again. And I'm thinking if he's in half decent shape, so that's why I went with him, man.
Okay, Ari.
I need Crow. But it's good, man. Ari will be back next week. Don't worry, guys.
Ari, Ringside Rob's got a question for you.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
Were you stoned when you made that change of pick? Come on, man. Disappointed with you, Ari. Having said that, I've not been that good in the prediction league. I've not got anything wrong, but my method of victories have been so shit that I've not really made...
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've not really made that many good points yet. But we'll get to the predictions league in a bit. I just want to get to Dave. Dave, were you impressed with Rios, and where does he go from here?
Well, I looked at it as a little bit of both. You know, Rios came in real motivated. He was ready. He trained his ass off. I think taking that beating from Chavez, because let's be honest, Chavez did kind of lay into him a little bit, did wake him up, and he tried real hard. Like Kev was kind of alluding to, there was the writing on the wall. And I mean, what you can mention is in his media workout, he got fucking out of breath in the first 30 seconds of starting his workout. You know what I mean? I got to give Rios credit, though, because he did look phenomenal. He was showing head movement. He was really active out the gate. He broke Alvarado's nose in the first 60 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. There was blood all over Alvarado's face.
Yeah.
So I think, to some degree, you have to give Rios some credit because who knows? Maybe Alvarado could have been slick. Maybe he could have pulled out, a couple extra rounds if Rios wasn't so determined. You never know.
Definitely. Okay. I'm gonna try and get Chew on. I'll give him another minute because he said at 20 past. So let's kill another minute. Dave, Rios. There's talk about maybe people have mentioned it. Like maybe Brook. I can't see Eddie Hearn really putting Brook anywhere near Rios because I think just that style. Why not? Just that style of fight, the come forward guys always continuously putting pressure on you, can take a punch.
Nah, I got Canelo Brook, man.
No, if you can handle Porter with that style, I don't really.
Nah, but Porter's got a different style. Like he's got that kind of.
Right. Can I say one thing before we go into that? I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I see a lot of stuff. I read boxing scene, and Rios is on a high, and I understand why he's on a high. But at the same time, you just beat a guy who looked like he didn't even care before the fight. You know what I mean? He's in crap shape, and I understand it's a big win for you, but you're acting like you beat some hungry guys. And that's why I don't want to give Rios too much props. Jesus Christ,
yeah, you don't get a title shot after beating this Alvarado. You get another fight where it's a chance to prove yourself as being still a top 10 type of guy.
With Joe, we're getting a lot of feedback and noise from you, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't want to give him too many props for this because obviously it's not like he beat some young hungry lion. This guy, he beat a drug addict.
No, I see your point.
But at the same time, I would say I got Brook with an easy UD.
I don't think it'd be easy, but let me get to my boy Chew and bring him back up. I remember when Boxing Voice used to do interviews, you always used to hear the ringtone. Shout out to the Boxing Voice as well, man. Let's try to do that full time, man. Big respect, because that's not easy to do. Lewis.
Boxing Coalition, what's happening?
How's it going, man? How's the Christmas party going?
Good, bro. Just to kind of sidetrack to the boxing slightly, I'm in a fucking abandoned mansion in the countryside, and basically the owner of my restaurant, we've got 3 restaurants, so he's got us in this kind of abandoned mansion, and it's kind of joined all the restaurants together, and he's got like fucking, it's like a ballroom and fucking classical music and all that shit. It's what a shit.
Any
Anyway,
hot,
this will never get them.
any hot women?
Oh, plenty. I'm on that. Don't worry.
All right, Lewis. Back to the boxing. I mentioned to Ari, who confessed that he changed his pick last minute to Alvarado. You did a similar thing. What was behind your thinking, and what did you think about the fight?
Shout out to the boxing boys. I've got a lot of respect for Beeb. Beeb breaks fights down in a technical level. And if you look at the second fight, it was kind of similar to the third fight, because Rios was not hammering, but he was getting the best of the early rounds in the second fight, and then, eventually Alvarado kind of figured it out. He gritted his teeth, basically. And after the 4th round of the second fight, he came alive. And Rios couldn't get past the jab. Alvarado never gave himself a chance, whether he didn't train or whatnot, but it's a shame, man. And Alvarado's done. He's shot to pieces. He was a broken man even before he stepped in the ring. I did pick Alvarado, so I like Crow. I don't know if you got the sound right there, but
yeah, there you go.
I like that, Crow. So I deserve that. Alvarado's done. I'm disappointed in him.
Where does Rios go from here?
Rios looked like a beast, I'm not going to lie. Rios looked like the best ever Rios. But whether that is due to Alvarado looking like shit, or just him looking like a beast, probably a bit of both, as people probably already said. That right uppercut. Man, what a punch. I'm a big fan of the uppercut. But that right uppercut that he was landing inside, he could just find a home. And, I thought that when Rios got inside, Alvarado looked weak, like physically weak. You could tell he didn't train like in previous fights. He could have pushed Rios off him. And if you look at the guys in the weigh-in, or even like when they're standing next to each other, Alvarado's a bigger guy.
He's old like high school wrestling stuff, so he knows leverage. He shouldn't be getting pushed around on the inside.
Oh, Kev, my man, what's happening?
What's up, brother?
Bro, I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah.
Who else is on the line as well?
Some young Tyson shit, throwing body punches and following with uppercuts off the body punches.
Rios looked like a beast, Kev. I don't know what you think, but that Rios could be a problem for anyone. He looked fast.
He looked fast. He looked motivated. He looked strong. He looked skinny for Rios.
Get back to work.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been you heard me last week, I've never thought that Rios had pop at that weight class. But he proved me wrong.
Who would you like to see him fight next, Chew?
From the top-ranked fighters that he could face. Timothy Bradley.
Top Rank also works with Star. They work with K1 and stuff. So there's other guys. They work with Golden Boy, not Heyman. I think it would be awesome if he could fight the winner of the Ruslan Lucas fight. If that fight goes off in March.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. I called in the boxing voice yesterday, and I gave my of the Lucas Provodnikov fight. But Rios has got an advantage because if Lucas and a Provodnikov fight, they'll never be the same. Whoever wins, because as hard as those guys punch, the guys have got iron chins as well, but they'll never be the same after that fight. So if Rios gets whoever wins that fight, Rios has got a good advantage. I'd like to see Rios against Victor Ortiz apparently Victor Ortiz is signed with Al Heyman, which I didn't know anything about. I thought Victor Ortiz was with Golden Boy. I'm quite surprised at that because Victor Ortiz, like, see what you want. When Victor Ortiz's career started, Oscar De La Hoya was all about him.
Yeah, even when he fought Floyd, he was the one. That was where the whole blueprint came out. I gave him the blueprint.
Exactly. I mean, Oscar was like, "This is my boy." He was like the one in particular in recent years who Oscar De La Hoya was right behind. Like, oh, this is going to be the next guy. You know, he's got the kind of handsome looks and shit. He was like the next Golden Boy, so to speak. And then look what Victor Ortiz has done. He banded him. Which is another thing, but anyway, if that fight doesn't happen, I'd like to see Rios against Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley would probably beat him at this point, but then you never know. Timothy Bradley had kind of difficulty with Diego Chavez.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I actually heard that that's a possibility. Is Rios Bradley is a good possibility, and they were actually talking about that before the fight.
And who you got in that, Kev?
What?
Who do you think wins that, Rios or Bradley?
I think Bradley wins. Bradley's just a better fighter. And I thought Bradley won the Chavez fight rather. Even though there was competitive, tough rounds, I still thought he won 8-4, 9-3 pretty easily. I just think Bradley's. I just have a ton of respect for Bradley. I think he's slowing down a little bit, and he's definitely showing signs of some of, like you said, when you go through wars. And you get hit by Manny Pacquiao for 24 rounds, and you get hit by Provatnikov for 12 rounds. Like, that takes a toll on you. But I just think he's another level type of fighter. He's a good fighter, man.
Yo, Chew, we'll let you get back to the party, Chew.
Yeah, just before I go, I just want to say that, like in retrospect, Diego Chavez looks like a beast.
Yep, and as much as I used to kill Thurman, I mean, that's got to be a feather in Thurman's cap, you know, being able to stop that guy who's looked real good against Rios and looked real good against Thurman, you know.
No, but
looked real good against Bradley.
But Chavez didn't get a chance to put his finger in his eye, though, so if he would have done that, it might have been a different fight.
No, Thurman actually said he was doing that to him.
Oh, there you go, then.
Thurman said that he was cupping his face in clinches.
There you go.
And on some positive shit, just before I go, donate to the Boxing Voice, £1 a month. I've done it. I've had my run-ins with Nez before, but you know what, man? Those guys are full-time. If you know, I was thinking about this just the other day. I watch MMA. I'm not going to lie. I know that's a dirty word on the Boxing Coalition, but I watch MMA. And there's an MMA reporter called Gareth something. He works with the Daily Mail or something like that.
Davies, Telegraph.
That's it. And there's the Jewish guy who used to be like a YouTube blogger, Ariel Hilali or something. And it just goes to show you that in the MMA world, there's no kind of nepotism. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's how good you are. Whereas in the boxing world, it's the opposite. You've got a guy like Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman's okay, don't get me wrong, but Max Kellerman kind of went from major network to HBO. You've got a guy like Nez. I've got to give respect to Nez because whatever you think of Nez, he fucking works his ass off.
Yeah.
As do all the guys in the Boxing Voice.
Too, like, I know I've been going off on the Boxing Voice a little bit and some of their writers and stuff, but I'm always the first to give like Ness credit for a lot of his interviews that he really asks the questions that his callers and his fans want to know of the fighters, and he won't back down. So he don't throw softballs and try to make friends. He asks the questions that callers want to know. So I always give him respect for that.
Yeah,
exactly. And then you look at a guy like Eli Segback, and Eli Segback wants to be their friends. Too many of these boxing guys want to be their friends. They want to be politicians, whereas the real boxing commentators like Nez, and he is, and like Vic, like the guys at the Boxing Voice, they don't give a fuck. They will ask the questions that the fans want to know, but they don't reward. Boxing doesn't reward people like that. They want to keep them down. And I will say as well, leave it the ring, Gabriel Montoya is asked good questions, but he's an egotistical maniac. You know, he's all about his life and shit. That's the problem with boxing. The guys who fucking don't play the game, don't get anywhere. Whereas a guy like, I'll say it, a guy like Nez won't get anywhere, but he should. Whereas in the MMA world, to get back to my point, the guys who are the best get somewhere, they get promoted, they get a job with the UFC, and that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, fucking good show, and hopefully it's a good one.
Cheers, Chew. Thank you.
Aye.
Nice
Catch
one.
you.
Yeah, I have to co-sign and agree with everything Chew said. If people like Ellie Satback can be full-time boxing journalists and make a living off it, then Ness definitely deserves to, because all Setback does is basically just stalk Robert Garcia. So Ness definitely, like, if you watch interviews with Ness against like Espinoza and what was the other one he did now with my mind's totally gone blank.
Retribution.
No. Yeah, what's his name? Ellaby, the one with Ellaby, and also the one with the chocolate man. What's his name? Kid Chocolate. Yeah, the one he did with them. He grills these guys. He doesn't ask the easy questions. He does actually grill him. So respect to Ness, respect to the boxing voice. Okay, let's get back on track. While I have my boy Scorsese, aka Scorzilla Gorilla, in the chat. He is in the chat, so that means he's listening. I'll just quickly give him a shout out for the Prediction League. He is currently at the top of the Prediction League. I am thinking mostly this is luck, even though he's my friend. I'm going to say it's luck that he's well above me in the Prediction League. Sorry, Scores. Sorry. But there's a saying I heard a long time ago, it's better to be lucky than be good. So he's definitely lucky there. Now I'm joking, Scores is well deserved number one. Maybe give a few more names. Joint second, Marky Mark 6, 128 points with Segura. Third, we have Boxing Historian. I'll give the top 5. Fourth, we have Choppy Hover. And in joint fifth, we have at Buff Boxing, Johnny B, Nam82, Peckham Rye, Sean 7000, Super High Impact, and User. That's the top 5 at the moment. I'll get to the fights that are on this week's predictions later on in the show. Guys, you got anything more you want to talk about Rios Alvarado? Should we move on to Gilbert Ramirez Sanchez, who was on the undercard?
Yo, I ain't even spoken, mate.
Well, I did ask you in the chat if you're speaking or not, and you didn't reply to me, Roos, so...
Alright, sorry, I didn't check the chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
first of all, Roos, what's happening? How are you?
First off, you sound like your usual excited self. I mean, full of energy.
That's the Ari effect.
the make you talk like you sleepy effect.
Yeah, Ari was just laughing at me on the weekend, man. He just fucked up my whole weekend.
Yeah, that's soccer. That's Chelsea. So we'll leave that for now. But Reece,
so good.
What did you think about Rios Alvarado 3?
Man, it was. I can't really give Rios any props at all, right? Like, the thing that struck me the most is like I'm watching the weighing that they came in the ring, and the guy is like 160. Like, I know he's not a true welterweight, and then he's killed his he's shredded down all the way to welterweight, and then you look at his body, you're just thinking like he doesn't look right, yeah. And to me, he's one of those fighters like I look at him against Pacquiao. Against Pacquiao, he was just getting beat up all over the place. Yeah.
You're saying Rios didn't look right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he didn't look right against Pacquiao, right? And in that fight, it's like he had to mask up his demeanor. Like, you know what? Here, just, to have some, to restore some credibility of my legacy, let me try and play the tough guy. Like, yeah, I could take shots and I just follow him around and he doesn't hurt me, right? And then in this fight now, he switches his demeanor because the other guy basically don't want to fight. It's like he's getting more confident when the other guy is going down, right? And I'm looking at all those little things, and I'm like, you know what? For me, he's a fraud. I can't really give him any props in that, right? Because you choose and you pick and choose when to switch your demeanor to, just to save your to save your dignity, to save your face. If that's how you fought against Rios, right? You're throwing all those combinations. What happened there all the other times? You just like, you are let down. So I can't really give him any props for that. Plus, like I said, I watch his weight. He's a fraud, man. He's a fraud.
Roos.
Anyway, I don't care about him.
Roos, I know you're a keen runner. You go on a run most nights, but are you hating on Rios because he doesn't put in the road work? Or
No, it's just like I'm looking at it. If someone like B-Hop at 50 years old can get his body shape to be like that, even though he gets beat up against Kovalev, yes, at least, you can tick one box. Like, you know what? We know he put in the miles. Yeah, we know
But if you look at Rios at the weigh-in, his weight was like a pound under, and he had no, like, if you see like the highlights of the Chavez fight, you see him getting hit and his belly shaking. He had loose skin. In this fight, he was slim. He just doesn't have that muscle tone, that type of body like that. And I think he looked good on the scale and looked good in the ring. He looked full and fit.
You can't be comparing Rios to freaking B-Hop, man.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Right? Don't take it out of context. What I'm trying to say here is, you can lose weight, and look slimmer, right? But it doesn't mean like, I don't understand. If you're doing boxing full time and you don't have any muscle definition, that's alarm bells ringing all over.
It's saying there is things you're not doing.
Yeah. It's saying there's things that they're doing because it's like, you know what, if you're doing it properly, right, even you without trying, you get that muscle definition on one part of your body at least. This guy don't have none.
Or it means, when he's not training for fights, he's not doing what he should be doing.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of me saying that he's a fraud. It's like outside the ring, you got to correlate it to, you know what, I'm going to fight in 4 months' time.
Rios has admitted that if it wasn't for his wife in boxing, he would probably be drunk in a ditch somewhere, so...
Well, we know that's probably what he's doing, during camps. So
I still don't believe Rios is a full welterweight. I still see him having more success down at 140.
No way, man.
Yeah, I just think Rios is one of those guys. Even if you weighed in if he had a fight at 160, he would have to kind of struggle to make weight, like James Toney type of way. Like, I just think that's just the type of way he is. But I think his best weight would be 140, where he would be able to be big again. At 147, he's not a big guy. At 140, he's a big guy the same way he was at 135,
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, Roos, anything else about that fight, or should we move on?
Yeah, no, that, I think, people build it up, so much, and then I didn't even bother watching it, like, on live. I was like, I was just like, this is going to be a bullshit fight. I wake up in the morning and shout out to Simbros and a coach on Simbros, and I was like, there we go, man. Like, I just knew it. Like, from the Stevan Wilder to this, it's a dip, man. It's a big time dip, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. It's only you guys were like, you're talking about it. I was like, no, I'll just wait until I unfold.
To be fair, though, most of the boxing world was looking forward to this.
Yeah, because, there ain't really nothing any there. So any crumbs, we just like reaching out.
But the first two fights were great fun fights. I mean, when you saw the 2015 calendar and you saw this fight, you chalked that down as something good, and which makes it even more depressing how big of a letdown the night actually was. But I'm sure if you asked anybody else on this panel, I'm sure everybody else, Cam, were you excited when you heard about this fight getting announced?
I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I wasn't excited until last week when I watched the two fights back again, and it did kind of hype me up, and it did bring my interest back, because I just felt that it was Bob Arum just kind of recycling the stable again when it first got announced. But when I got refreshed with the first two fights, it did make me think, I definitely need to tune into this. And I also agree with Roost to an extent where the January-February calendar is always a bit quiet for boxing, just because it's like post-Christmas, and like even now, I just looked at the schedule, like when is the next big HBO card, when is the next big Showtime card? It's still, there's a few weeks of kind of nothingness. So that's why this fight kind of stood out, because there's nothing else surrounding it. So yeah, that's my view.
Cam, Rudy Hernandez, that's the guy's name who he
Yeah.
brought in for the second fight.
That's it.
Because I rewatched that fight too. Now that you said you rewatched it, yeah, and he's actually a guy, and he was the one doing all the talking, and the Sons of Anarchy looking dude wasn't even talking.
Exactly. So I was surprised maybe Alvarado didn't reach out to him
But
to
I
have him
haven't
in the
seen
corner.
him since. Now that I think about it, that's why I forgot about him.
Oh, okay.
I think it's either Rudy Hernandez or Rudy Fernandez. It's one of those.
Yeah, but he definitely, I think he helped Alvarado definitely win the second fight because he was giving him good instructions in the corner. He was calming him down. Like Alvarado really boxed well in the second fight, and this third fight was just terrible. But before we move on and go to the undercard.
Hold on. Just before you, just what you said there, sometimes I think as well is like Alvarado, maybe in the previous fights, he had different pressures of life. So he's like, you know what? It made him to a different animal. That's why he was able to perform like that, and you're happy with it. Once you overcome those fears, those obstacles, you're wiser, you move on to a new dimension, so to speak. So you can't really bring that fight that you had in your life, to forward now. And then we see him now. He's a totally different fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he's down, and then you see Rios like his confidence is getting. I was just like, why your confidence getting higher when the man is down? Like I can't commend that, man. You need to beat someone like when he's stepping up to you properly like that. Then I'll give you the props.
No, I see your point, but for Rios, this is a big win because Rios is coming off like a shady performance against Diego Chavez, and a beatdown against Pacquiao. So if I was Rios and I beat Alvarado in that type of fashion, even though Alvarado didn't show up, I'd probably still be happy with myself because it takes two to tango. But let me get to Leon.
Okay.
Let me get to Leon because I want to move on soon. Leon, are you there?
Yeah, all right, mate. How you doing?
Good, bro. We're just talking about Rios Alvarado, the third installment of the trilogy. What were your thoughts on the fight?
Well, Ruth has brought all the salt this week. I don't have to bring any salt this week, do I? And double salty in the corner. It was hugely disappointing because, like you, I'd watched both the fights like in the build-up and was really excited about it. And it was just horrible, wasn't it? He just looked like a journeyman in there. Rios could have just done what he liked with him the whole night. It was just, it was a bit depressing actually to watch him. Just like, I don't know, just like beating up a crackhead. It looked like, didn't it? Really, it was just horrible to watch. And I first, when I watched it live, I thought that crowd were horrible with all that booing. And then I watched it back again today at lunch, and I started booing my laptop. No, it was no good, man. But Rios did what he had to do, and he looked good. He looked good, like more head movement and upper body movement than I've ever seen him have before. So maybe Garcia's like finally getting through to him. But I don't know who he beats. Going forward, I don't know who he beats.
Yeah, I asked Kev that question earlier, and like he's talking maybe they might match him against Tim Bradley, or if the Lucas Matisse Ruslan Provodnikov fight doesn't happen, maybe match him up with one of them. But either way, I think Bradley outboxes him, and I think Lucas or Ruslan
knocks him out.
Yeah, to probably stop him. So
yeah. So I think he got a bit overexcited running around shouting on the ring, "I'm back, I'm back." But you can't get too overexcited about that performance because that guy was shot, man. He was. I've never seen. I think that might have been one of the most shot fighters I've ever seen. Honestly, that's one of the most shot performances I've ever seen. I think I can't remember last time I saw someone in a 50-50 fight perform that badly.
Yeah,
what we perceive to be a 50-50 fight to then go and perform that badly. Personally,
yeah,
that's a great point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the undercard. This has got a lot of mixed feelings. Joe's been a bit quiet, so I'll go to Joe first, but I know Ari wants to kind of unleash the beast, and he's got some thoughts about Gilberto Ramirez Sanchez. But Joe, did you catch
all away?
Sorry?
He got excited.
Don't give it all away.
Okay.
Okay,
sorry, go on.
But Joe, did you catch this fight? What did you think?
Well, the guy's a fucking bum.
Simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, man, that guy's a fucking bum, dude. And I like the way how HBO all of a sudden like try to hype him up like in the low key, telling us kind of like subliminally, this is the guy that should be the toughest opposition for Andre Ward in the later future. Like, come on, man, this guy's a fucking bum.
Yeah, not during the fight though. During the fight, Lampley was all over Vaslov's nuts.
Yo, do you all guys just agree that like?
Yes. Let me go.
All right, go on, Harry.
All right, Nelta, aka Nelson. I know you're ducking. I don't know where you are. Kid Galabum, Loco. They're the three I know. Any others in the chat always talking about this guy. This the guy you lot talking about, right? Gil Bumtu. That's what I'm calling him from now on. Gil Bumtu Ramirez. This is the guy that Ward's supposed to worry about. Darrell, DeGale, Froch. This is the guy. I was laughing for 10 rounds, man. Slow feet. Predictable. Is this it?
No defense at all.
Is this it? Really? No, really. I had the box record and really realized if this was the guy they're talking about or not. Because I've been hearing these guys talk about this guy for a long time. I want one of these guys to call up. You don't think he had good... Wait, hold on. Kid Gallup, I want you to call up, and I want you to change your name in the chat, because you're very disrespectful. I still can't believe it. You're calling Kid Galahad a bum. You're calling Kid Galahad a bum while this guy's walking around. Change your name to Kid Bum in the chat. And I ain't talking to you again in that chat, because this is pathetic that you're calling Galahad, who's a future world champ, by the way, you're talking Galahad a bum when this guy's walking around. Change your name, man.
Yeah.
Change your name, because I'm not having it.
All right.
I'm not having it.
All right, let me play.
Did you not see anything you thought he did well on? Because I'm hearing people kill this guy, and like, I don't know, man. I guess I would kill him based on the hype. If you were hyping this guy up like he was going to be a serious threat for Andre Ward, like, I could totally see why people would be like, oh, he's a bum. But he had some good off. I was killing him a little during the fight, saying there's no second gear. He's like a lot of these fighters, they can't turn it on. You know, they fight at one speed. They're very monotone, like in that. But he was throwing very good body shots. He had some good offense, but, you know, he's defensively irresponsible and stuff. So you don't think he could improve? Like, I don't think he's a bum. I just think he might be years away. Like, 2 years and, 4 or 5, 6 good developmental fights away, from being a better fighter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't throw him away and cast him off as never being good. Like,
hell no, you're right about 2 years, 2 light years away.
Kev, he's a pre-bum then.
Hey,
he might turn out to be a bum, but to write somebody off at 23 years old, that was on the stage against, a opponent that he should beat, and he did beat and won almost every round. Like,
Nah, Kev, I'll throw him away and I'll throw him a Wilson ball while I'm at it. So
okay, Ari, Loco jumped on the line.
I'll cast him away.
Ari, Loco jumped.
No, because I remember. No, the reason I'll say, all right, I won't say it to everyone, but I'm saying it to the 3 people I've mentioned because they've been talking up this guy. Because these guys know I'm a big DeGale fan. They've been saying apparently this guy was gonna knock out DeGale. I don't see it. I see DeGale doing what Calzaghe did to Lacey with him. Having fun with him for 12 rounds.
Okay, Ari, one of the guys that you're calling out, Loco, has jumped on the line. Are you there, Loco?
I'm gonna call in finally.
Loco?
Yo, what up?
What's happening, Loco?
What's up, Loco?
You good?
Hey, hold on.
I'm in love with
Hold on. Hey,
give him that
never once that I mentioned Ramirez. I didn't even know who that guy was.
Oh, all right. If that's wait, hold on.
So don't get confused.
If that's true, I rescind your name. If that's true, but I do remember you being one of the guys in the chat. Maybe it was Kid Galafam and Noyota then. So, all right, I'll rescind that. But I'm not gonna apologize because I'm not 100% sure. I'll rescind it.
Whoa.
Yo, Loco, you got some bad feedback, man.
Hole, mate. He's in the black hole.
Yo, Loco fell into the Mexican black hole. But Okay,
Hey, yo, Loco's
These
2
guys
light
are
years
already,
away like a
these
bum.
guys are already trying to walk away from him, man. Come on.
all right. Like, I'm kind of like siding with Kev a bit. When I watched the fight, there was a lot of mistakes being made. Like, he couldn't block the orthodox straight right at all. He was getting caught with it so often. Having said that, some of his body work, his right hook to the body was good. And for me, it's so easy to jump on people's bandwagons after one performance and jump off after one performance. Sometimes two fighters don't gel, you know, like they just don't meet up in a good fight. The chemistry doesn't work, and I think this was just one of those fights. Like, they just kind of neutralized each other, and it just ended up being a poor fight. But for me, that doesn't write Ramirez Sanchez off. I just think maybe against a different opposition, he would perform much better.
And he was throwing good body shots, and I just think he could get better.
That's typical.
What's typical?
Well, it's not typical. Nobody throws good body shots anymore.
Okay. I don't want to say too much.
No, Ari,
I could be wrong, and he could turn out to be a bum 2 years from now. But I just wouldn't write him off. Like, no, I'm not saying we even need to see him on HBO anymore for a little while. Like, you know what I mean?
No, we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him now that he's here, top rank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got to. Who else they got really up there? They're losing Chavez. That's what it is. They're hoping he's the next Chavez for them, and then in the higher weights. But I just don't see it.
Yeah, but like Kev said, he's 23. He's got a lot of learning to do. Like,
he can learn. He can learn.
I'm not putting him up there.
I don't see how he's gonna keep learning and stay at that weight. He looked quite big.
Yeah, I think it was a catch weight as well.
And I mentioned that. Like, I think he might need. I mentioned it in the chat. I think he might need to, muscle up and go up to 175 a bit.
That fight was at 175.
No, I think it was at like 172 or something like that.
No, I think it was 170. 170.
Okay.
Yeah, because at 168, I think he's cutting too much. He loses muscle. But I also heard that, from guys that, because this guy's getting hyped, so of course a lot of people want to talk about him. That sparring bigger guys, he's getting pushed around, which might be a reason why he don't want to go to 175. So.
And you say you don't want to bring up too quick and whatever, but the guy's had 30 fights.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, okay, 30 fights, yeah. Okay, yes, he's young, but I'm looking at all the other guys that we say like, yeah, those were the guys. When you look at them when they were that age where he is now, yeah, you were seeing flashes of something, yeah.
Yeah, this is that sweet spot where you start showing things, and then by 24, 25, you're in your physical prime, and you are what you are. So I hear you.
Yeah, but a lot of these young Mexicans don't have an amateur career, and they start off while they're quite young. So obviously he's gonna kind of be fed a lot of low opposition to kind of build him up a bit. So that's why he's reached so many fights so soon.
Think about Canelo. If you would have rated him after fighting Matthew Hatton as opposed to fighting, Angulo. Like, it's like, I don't know. I just give the guy a couple fights. Like,
I mean, I hear where all you guys are coming from, but I think you guys are not taking into consideration Vaslov. That guy is no joke. I did a little bit of research because, doing the prediction league now, I'm not just going to make dumb picks without researching it. And I looked into this guy, man. This guy is legit. He's like put everybody down, some people twice. Only has one loss on his record. I watched some of his fights. He's fast. He's strong. Like, I don't think you guys are realizing like just how
credible win has Vlasov got.
What does credible win mean if the guy's a strong, solid opponent?
Credible win means that you've beaten someone who's credible. That's what it means. It means that you're half legit.
What did Roy Jones have prior to Tony?
Yeah, but then he proved it after Tony. That's what I'm saying. You can't say the guy's credible.
Yeah, but you might prove it after.
He's never beat anyone. That's what I'm saying. He proved it versus Tony, showing he's legit. Vlasov, you can't say he's decent, whatever. We've never seen it versus anyone except versus bums. I'm not having it. People used to shit on Brook for ages. He proved it versus Porter, didn't he?
Yeah, but he looked like shit against some people, though, man. Come on.
He looked shit in one fight.
He proved it. He got a belt.
I'm not having it. No. Because no one, come on. Vlasov.
I don't know.
Do I really have to box wreck him? Because I know he ain't beat no one.
I don't normally agree with Harry, but he's got a point, man.
Yep. But let's see Ramirez build, and maybe in a year and a half,
we'll see him build, because Top Rank, they bring them up slowly.
Top Rank always brings their guys up slowly, and all their fighters always want to fight guys. And their matchmakers historically bring up guys slowly, and there's no way around it. And they're very protective early on, and that's what's going to happen. But who knows? Maybe a year from now, he fights his Sean Porter type of guy, and he wins. You don't know.
But you know what? Like anyone who's coming from the Latin country, they'll, the Latin crowd will just latch onto him like, yes, we've got someone, and I think the hype is based around that, and he try to resonate with other people, and then we caught up to it, like like your Nautas are telling us, like, yeah, this is the guy. We're like, okay, let's see, and then when we see it, we're like, what the fuck is this?
You know that is now to style to throw out names that he knows we have no idea who the fuck they are. And then we watch the fights and them shits are boring as fuck.
Yeah, Nelta as well, man. He was another one. And he's a guy, and I still put him out on it. He tries to deny it, but he's saying that Avalov will beat Frampton next month as well. I got Crow for him next month as well.
You know what? Nota's my boy, but I just think he hates like UK fighters, man. So he'll just pick the opposite person.
I think he just likes winding us up.
He's probably right.
Yeah.
I agree with Kevin Cam. It's just he's been overhyped, but he's just not. He's still developing. But he had no defense though. His defense was horrible. And that's a big problem after 30 fights. You're still getting hit with shots.
Yeah.
Like, he was open to that left hand all night. But, yeah. I think Ari's getting excited because people were saying to him that he was going to beat DeGale, which he will never do. However good he gets, he will never be as good as James DeGale.
Yeah, I think that's the B that Ari's got in his bonnet, isn't it? Because people
which is a fair enough B. If people are talking like this guy's ever going to beat James DeGale, it's a fair enough to have a B in your bonnet about it. I understand where he's coming from.
I don't think too many people are going to be able to beat James DeGale, so that's not saying.
Yeah, no, he's a problem.
It's not a knock, in my opinion.
No.
I think in the next 3 to 4 years, DeGale's going to be carrying that division alongside, whoever moves up from 160, and once Ward moves up to 175. I mean, the guy's a monster. The guy's, proven to be a top level fighter already. He's just waiting for a shot.
Okay, guys. After the Rios fight, Dan, can you just mute yourself, please? Yeah. After the Rios fight, you sent the tweet out about Victor Ortiz. Is that a fight that you guys are interested in? I'd rather see Victor Ortiz versus like Mike Alvarado and then tagline it like the Battle of the Bums or the Battle of the Quitters or some shit like that.
I would only rather see Ortiz versus Alvarado if the loser doesn't fight again. And they have it written down where they have to retire.
That's in the contract.
What I want to see is Ortiz versus Andre Berto. Have Berto beat his ass and then anchor him off with fucking Rios Ortiz. And never to hear that name ever again, Ortiz.
What's your beef with Ortiz?
No, that guy's a fucking bum.
Okay.
He has no heart. He's gonna quit on his stool just like Mike Alvarado.
In his bar stool.
Yeah. I see 10 fingers.
Yo, Ski Mask, you've said in the Skype chat that you got to go soon. Is there anything else you want to talk about before you go?
Is it okay if I jump on the Canelo topic real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, I don't know, man. It's looking like to me that Cotto's a little biatch. I'm sorry to say it, man. That dude's a little biatch. And then you have fucking Bob Arum coming out of the woodworks talking for Cotto. Cotto felt disrespected. And fuck all that. Cotto, if this is true, then Cotto's a little prima donna biatch.
Dan, we're getting feedback from you.
That's all I got to say, man. And with that said, long live Canelo. The next Victor Ortiz.
All right, thank you, Joe. Okay, Dave and Leon, I want to talk to you guys about Canelo versus Kirkland before we get some callers on. I know you guys have a bit of a disagreement about this situation. Dave, do you want to start?
Yeah.
No. I see the duck in him. Let's get it straight.
You know what? I'm getting tired of this shit, you fucking Euro bum.
Oh, here we go. Dave is then.
You know what? That's it. It's toe to toe, bro. It's time for toe-to-toe. Bring toe-to-toe on. Let's do it. Okay,
right.
Go. Go.
All right, for a lot. Let me give the listeners a bit of feedback now. So, shout out to Josh and Dave. They came up with this topic, a little segment in the show called Toe to Toe, where if you have a disagreement about something, then we have like a little kind of boxing matchup of 3 rounds, 3 1-minute rounds. Each guy gets 30 seconds to convey their thoughts, and then 3 people on the line will pick the winner at the end. The problem was, no one really wanted to do it. I don't think people wanted to take the L, so we've had this, like, even Scores, Sazy, my boy, he made us a little intro for it, but no one wanted to do it, so we've not even used it yet. But I know Dave and Leon, obviously talked to him throughout the week, and they've had a disagreement about...
They've been baiting me.
Yeah, I think Dave and Leon have been swimming in salt over this subject. So yeah, so the segment's called Toe to Toe. We'll see how it goes. If you guys like it and you got a disagreement with someone on your Twitter account, someone in a forum that you're involved in, we can get it on the show. It doesn't have to be live on the show, but we can record it at another time and then play it back on the show at a later date. So, as said that, let me get into the intro.
Boxing Coalition. Check. You know what it is. Let's go toe to toe. You can debate me, but I ain't having it. You made a good enough point, but I'm playing devil's advocate. We face off like we're sitting with Max Kellerman, pumping with adrenaline, hitting you with intelligence. Speak your mind or forever hold your gum shield. I don't take prisoners, I don't care how you bums feel. I don't care if you Teddy Atlas or Burt Sugar. Word to my mother, I'll snatch the mic off Michael Buffer. I slap Jimmy Lennon Jr. just to say my piece. When it comes to trash talk, you're gonna face the beast. You claim to be an expert, but where's the facts? Toe to toe, let's go, yo, where you at? You claim to be an expert, but where's the facts? Toe to toe, Box Coalition, let's go.
Box Coalition, let's go. Shout out to Scorsese. I want to give his album a plug, but I'll do it later on in the show. Okay, that's so toe to toe. I've got a coin here. Leon, Dave, I'm going to flip it, see who goes first. Heads or tails?
You call Dave.
Let's go tails.
Tails it is. Dave,
how do we know it's tails calm though? Come on though.
Exactly.
That's the problem about that's the problem about a podcast, don't it? Like, it's not
offline for a couple of hours. You and Dave are probably going to stitch me up, aren't you?
Yeah, Dave PayPal me some money to make him go first. In a way though, it's better to go second because you can respond to him. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let the bell go. Dave, you go first. I'll break you 30 seconds into it, and Leon, you respond.
All right, so Oscar himself said Cotto isn't scared. He himself said Cotto isn't scared. When Oscar was asked by Dan Rafael, he tactfully said they refused the offer. And then he clarified with saying they did not accept the offer, so we decided to move. We decided to move. Cotto's own advisor said Cotto's not avoiding Alvarez. They just weren't able to finalize the deal. Like, come on, man. This is bullshit. Like, I don't understand where...
Okay, break. Leon?
I don't give a shit about what promoters are saying. This is about Cotto being scared to fight another Mexican fighter because he knows what happened. He will be remembered in his career for losing to Margarito. Even though he came back and beat him in the second fight, we always will remember that loss. And he's scared to fight another Mexican fighter. That's how I see it. That's my first point. There's many layers to this duck, which I'll go into in the next round.
Okay, break. Nice first round, boys. Nice first round. Buffy's got some good points in. Going to go into the second round. Dave, you ready?
Have some water.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, so that point you just brought up, irrelevant. So I'm moving on to my next point. Canelo's trash talking because there's nothing else he can offer Cotto. Look at his pay-per-view numbers, bro. He did 350 against Angulo, and he did 300 versus Laura. What does he bring to the table now? His name isn't what it was before he fought Floyd. After he fought Floyd, man, nobody really seems to care too much about Canelo.
Okay, break. Leon, your turn.
Is this a finance podcast? I don't give a fuck about numbers and all that bullshit. It's about fighting. And here comes the double duck. He's taking the Mayweather fight because he knows Mayweather will beat him. And if Mayweather beats him, he takes that Triple G problem off him because that's who he's really running from. So he's ducking Canelo, and he's trying to find a way to run from Triple G. Just giving them belts up to Mayweather and a little fucking with a little bow on here.
Break. Ooh, lads. I don't know if I had my own scorecard written down. I think Leon would be in the front at the moment, man. I think he'd be leading the fight. But let's go into the last round. You ready, Dave?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right, so honestly, I just think all of this hate comes from him beating up Sergio Martinez. Everybody seems to have a problem with Cotto ever since then. You know, prior to that, nobody ever called Cotto a duck. Nobody ever had a problem with Cotto. Actually, everybody praised Cotto in many regards, beyond the whole diva nonsense. But if you want to talk about ducking, when has this man ever ducked anybody? Anybody? Come on, man.
Okay, break. Leon.
Yeah, just beating up on a cripple, that's no good at all. But the major point is, his major duck, his major fear is, he don't want to get whooped by a ginger. That's his big fear. He doesn't want to get knocked out by a Mexican ginger fighter. He'll never be able to go back to the island. He'll have to go and buy his own island, which he'll make from the Floyd Mayweather money, and he'll have to go in there and live on his own in shame and disgrace, knocked out by a ginger Mexican.
Ooh, that ended right on the bell. That was nice, Leon. All right, guys, we got Kev on the line, we got Ari on the line, we got Roos. I'm making you the officials. You decide. Kev, who you gonna give that to?
Sorry, I was live in the chat. I got to give it to Leon.
Okay, that's one for Leon. Ari,
That pay-per-view point ruined it for me.
Okay, Ari, who you gonna give it to?
Wrapping the flag.
They've had some good points, to be fair. And I don't really see it as a major duck. Like, it's a duck, but at the same time, he's a diva. And you kind of expect these things from Cotto these days. So I'll go with split decision on Dave.
Ooh. Okay, Roos.
Ari, you're a fucking idiot, man. Yeah, you put it on me.
Go on, Roos.
Fuck it, it's a draw, man. Fuck it.
Nah.
Go to the chat.
This is net style scoring. No draws.
No. Take it to the chat. Let the chat decide.
I see the chat. The chat's all on Leon right now.
Okay, people in the chat. If Dave won this, type 1, and if Leon won it, type 2. So while people are doing that,
I see a lot of Leons. Boxing MD, Minor, Jay Luis.
Tony Bell, you.
Dave got iced. We're looking at like a 6-2 right here.
Yeah, you know what? I think it is Leon. Congratulations, Leon. You won the first.
Somebody's a Mark Breland.
There's a Mark Breland in the chat for everyone to know. But yeah, Leon, you are the first winner of the toe-to-toe segment. Congratulations.
It was a good fight. Good, clean fight.
Yeah,
repping the flags.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah.
Well done, Dave.
Actually do it. No, it's a dry run. Me and Dave.
You can't go in the UK and get a decision.
You can't have that belt. I'm holding that belt to ransom.
All right, guys. Let's take some calls and then talk about a bit of news and probably get out of here because we've not got many fights next week.
That was fun, Dave.
Take some calls and then talk about a bit of news and probably get out of here because we've not got many fights next week.
Rob, I'm getting some feedback from you, Rob.
Yeah, it's off. I've switched it off now.
How you doing, Rob?
Yeah, not bad. You guys?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just talking about like the weekend's fights. We've gone over our thoughts. What's your thoughts on the whole card?
Man, I hate to call boxers quitters because, I've got a lot of respect for them, but I mean, he quit, didn't he? Well, there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing. I picked Alvarado to win as well, because I watched that second fight back and he pretty cleanly outboxed him and then he just didn't show up. I don't know what's going to happen to Alvarado. Probably we'll see him pop up in 18 months' time as like an Al Heyman opponent,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But like, were you impressed with Rios, or do you think like he just beat
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, I was impressed with Rios. I mean, you got to be. He came and did his job. You just got to think, you know, he's the guy. He did the job that he needed to do.
Yeah. Like, if you had to give a prediction of like maybe who Rios' next opponent is, like, who do you think?
I don't know who I think they put him. Who I'd like him to be put in with would be the winner of Provodnikov and Matisse. Now, I'd like to see that. I don't think there's a boxing fan in the world that would take issue with that matchup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see those. That would be the way to go. But I wasn't. I was a little disappointed by that Mexican, that Ramirez on the undercard, the super middleweight. I thought there was going to be a bit more to him to that, because I've seen some of his other fights and he looked like a killer. But yeah, I don't think the Gale or Froch or Groves will be too worried about that guy.
Yeah, we were just discussing.
See, I didn't see him in any other fights, and that's where a lot of the criticism's coming in. Do you think maybe he froze under the big lights? And that was it? Or no? No,
I don't. I mean, I don't think Vlasov was like a terrible opponent. I think that was a decent step up, and it was his first time fighting somebody that kind of level, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that's what it was, more than anything else.
Rob, we discussed Ramirez earlier, and me and kind of Kev agreed that maybe it was just a clash of styles and it didn't really work out. I'm kind of still giving him maybe a second chance, maybe against, because as I think Leon said earlier, like, was it Leon? I don't know. It might have been Leon. That Vlasov's not a shit opponent, you know. He was a decent kind of test. So.
Dave.
Sorry, Dave. Yeah, sorry, Dave said it earlier, but yeah. I was talking to Vinny Paz, not the boxer, but the MC from like Jedi Mind Tricks and Army of the Pharaohs on Twitter. And he was saying that, you know, like, Vlasov's got a really good sturdy chin. Because in the prediction league, I went for like late stoppage for Ramirez, and I kind of regretted it afterwards, obviously, because I lost a lot of points. But yeah, I don't think you can just like cast him off after just one performance against Vlasov.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't cast him off. I think he's still a contender in that division. It's just he's not someone to be feared like he was. Like some people talking like he's some Mexican Golovkin or something, which he clearly is not. You know?
Yeah. Rob, let me keep you on the line and get to Joe Morgan. Are you there, Joe?
Yeah, boys, how's it going?
Excellent, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, boys, not bad.
What's your thoughts about Rios Alvarado3?
What a fucking letdown, eh? Like, I think it's hard to give Rios that much credit when Alvarado was that bad, but I think that's the best Rios has looked since he's moved up from lightweight. I think he could probably make 140, you know, but as in terms of his next fight, it's hard to say really, because a lot of the fighters you want to see him in with are with Heyman. So the guys like I'd love to see him with like maybe a Maidana at 147. I think that would be an unbelievable fight. But you know, hopefully he could maybe get in with Provodnikov or Matisse. But no, I was impressed. I mean, his head movement was good. He showed good power. That uppercut was nasty as well. But Alvarado's done, man. He's fucking... That's it. Game over.
Okay, Joe. And what did you see the Gilbert Ramirez Sanchez fight?
Yeah, man. I caught like 4 rounds of it. It was fucking... I don't know, man. It's like when he comes in with that much hype, it's hard to live up to it, especially when you're in with a pretty durable guy. But I think... I don't want to like shit on him too much because he's obviously like a real young prospect and he's going to have a lot of time to sort of grow. But what really didn't impress me was his power. I mean, it didn't even look like he rocked him. I would have like maybe like a knockdown or something like that, but he just seemed like he was pretty ineffective. And you know, there was an argument to be made for Vlasov winning a good sort of 4 or 5 of those rounds. So unconvincing, but I won't pass judgment on him just yet.
Yeah, I think I gave Lasso like 3 rounds. I'm like Kevin Horn now. I'm casual. Like I'll just mentally record the rounds in my head. I don't even get the app open on my phone. I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, man. Like it wasn't like a shutout or anything. Like, but no, I don't think we can like judge him just yet. Wait, Aaron won't toss him in with any of the top 168s, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in with sort of another sort of fringe level contender.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, I hate to be rude, but we've got loads of people on the line. If you can stay on if you want, or I'll let you go, it's up to you.
No, so I'll probably head off in like 5-10 minutes anyway, so I'll stay on for a bit.
Alright, cool, thanks, Joe.
You know, it'd be a good fight for him to come back on. Like a step-up fight would be like a Butte, if Butte comes back or something like that. If Butte comes back to like 168.
He's with Heyman though, mate.
Oh, he just signed with Heyman also?
And he's going up. He's going up a weight.
Yeah,
he's going to be he's going to be a Stevenson
victim
fight down the line.
Right.
Yeah,
because he's shot.
Oh, he's done, man.
Yeah, all right.
Cobra'd.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but he did get Cobra'd.
You can't use
he got
Leon. You can't use the tagline from your most hated boxer, man. Come on.
I'm using it. He got Cobra'd.
That sounds
no denying it, mate.
Salty.
Yeah.
You got salty Cobra'd.
Still a bastard, but he got Cobra'd.
All right, guys. Let me get to Dave T. Are you there, Dave T?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going, Dave?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. You all right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good, man. What was your thoughts on Rios Alvarado3?
I was as impressed as you could be with Bradon Rios, but you were left after that thinking like you were after the Cotto Martinez. Was it how bad one was, or how good the other one was, or just sort of half and half, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We need to see the next fight that he has to see if he is stepping up again.
I agree, Dave. What would you like to be the next fight?
I don't know. I can't even think who's out there that he could. I don't want to see Pacquiao again. I don't want to see him against Pacquiao again. Definitely not. Don't think that's going to change at all.
Yeah, there's no point in that fight, is there, really?
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't know.
It's hard to say because Top Rank haven't got that many decent welterweights anymore.
Yeah.
I do think it'd be Bradley. Kev was talking about earlier, but I do think it'd probably be Bradley, to be honest. It's the most.
I can see that.
It's the most logical fight, I think.
Yeah, I think Bradley will come out on top of that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the undercard fight. This Ramirez guy as well.
What do you think?
Well, it's the whole hype train thing again, isn't it? You've had the and like Harry says, it's a bit like being hyped up like Lacey was, and like was it Brandon Gonzalez that DeGale fought?
Yeah.
Before. You know what I mean? There's loads of hype in that, and they don't live up. But like you say, he's only young. He can see how he is in his next ones. He's obviously got some skill there, but he needs to refine himself quite a bit. So who trains him?
Off the top of my head, I don't even know. Like Kev, you got any knowledge about his trainer?
Who's trainer?
Ramirez.
Ramirez.
I have no fucking clue.
No. I didn't know who was around, sort of what gym he's at or anything like that, who he's got to learn.
I think he's
from
still
and things
based
like
in
that.
Mexico. I think he still lives in Mexico. So.
Yeah, I don't know many outside of East Coast.
Yeah.
Plus,
but no, I enjoyed the Rios where it lasted. I know it was one-sided and everything like that, but I mean, some of them uppercuts were nice that he was landing on Alvarado.
Yeah, but Alvarado's getting caught with him too easy as well, man. It's just like he's just teeing off on him.
Locking him all with his face, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But Dave, before we let you go, obviously we got Mitchell fighting next week. You got a prediction for that?
I think Mitchell will, as long as he comes in on weight, doesn't mess up again. No, I think he'll do that. I think he's in the right place at the minute. He's been getting his head straight, and I think he's in the right place now. I think he'll take that one. Probably points though. I don't know if he'll stop him.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a tough fight for Mitchell. I know he's Leon's boy, because being a fellow West Ham fan. But is there anything else you got for us, Dave, before we let you go?
Is the still boxing tomorrow night, Tuesday night? Is Orlando Solis versus Tony Thompson?
No, that's got postponed till I think February now. They're looking at for that day.
Oh, has that gone off? Is it? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird fight. No, I've got nothing else at the minute, so I'll let you guys get on and I'll keep listening.
Alright, cheers, Dave.
No problem.
Alright, guys, let me get to Boxing MD. Are you there, Boxing MD?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, shit.
It's going good. I don't know, like, I guess like the last caller said, kind of reminded him of like after Cotto Martinez, because you kind of felt like not knowing, what it really meant. Like, obviously they're two different situations. Martinez, had one leg, and Alvarado, whether it's drugs or just brain damage or just looking like a scrub, like, we don't know how good Rios is. But, optimistically, he kind of rebounded, so I don't know. But overall, that fight was very disappointing, obviously.
Yeah. What's next? What's next for Rios, in your opinion?
I don't know. I don't think that I think he's good enough to be used as an opponent for a better boxer. So I could see him being used for, like, if he fights Bradley, I don't see him winning more than 1 or 2 rounds. So that's a possibility. But like I said, I don't see him having much success against a good boxer like Bradley.
MD, didn't you say in the chat Crawford, if Rios could make 140, are you thinking?
I mean, I don't know what they're doing.
That would be a good step-up fight if Rios could get down there. That would be an electric crowd.
I said that, I was thinking about it, like, I don't know if they're going to force Rios to go back to 140, but like I said, like, I feel like he's good enough to be an opponent, so that's definitely a possibility. So, and also it gives Crawford the ability to look really good at 140, because he obviously has the skills to, make Rios look like a bum again.
Yeah. And I think that's one of those fights, if it is 140 and fucking Rios comes in at like 141.5, I think Crawford would still take the fight, especially if it's in Nebraska.
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome. That'd be good. But let me say one thing about the Canelo / Cotto situation. There's, I heard over at The Voice, like, they were saying how the Canelo versus Kirkland fight, it'll be good if it's before the main event of whatever fight Floyd's having May 2nd, which obviously is leading towards Cotto. The date wouldn't be tentative if that was their plan.
Yeah, why would they do that? Why would they acquiesce or acknowledge another telecast? Like, if his whole thing was fighting on May 2nd, it would just be a regular, normal program. 10 o'clock start, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what I'm saying is, like, if they plan on having an earlier fight anyway, like, it wouldn't even matter if Manny and Floyd are fighting that day. Because if, let's just say a 6 p.m. start for the card, which obviously is not going to happen, it wouldn't be tentative because,
6 p.m. Eastern?
Well, that's what time would a card have to start before a pay-per-view card starts? You know what I mean? But that was like
Who said that?
That's what they were saying over at The Voice. A lot of people are saying how it's like, it's free boxing before the Floyd-Mayweather fight, which to me obviously sounds ridiculous.
Really ridiculous. I think if Canelo's going to have the fight, he's going to try to cut into Floyd's audience.
Yeah, and like
100%.
For me, for example, like, I mean, I've bought in I talk shit about it, but I've bought in every single Floyd fight up until now. And I don't know, like, it makes it a lot easier me not buying the Cotto Floyd fight if I have boxing that night. So
MD, you're saying exactly what I was saying. I'm the first to say that this is the first Mayweather fight I'm never going to buy because, even though I've said it before that I wasn't going to buy, and then when it comes down to it, I bitch out and I buy it, or I invite people over to offset the price and I buy it. But if there is that Canelo fight on, I'm like, fuck that, I won't buy it. I'll just get the stream or the fight afterwards. And it gives people on the fence like me and you a reason not to pay for the pay-per-view, which would be something I'm sure Canelo would be happy about, taking away some of Floyd's pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, I don't know, like, I feel like this time, like, I've tried not to put the blame on anybody about the whole Floyd Manny situation, but to me this time I feel like it's clear and cut that Floyd Mayweather really doesn't want the fight. So I don't know. That's just how I feel. It's not going to happen.
But there's been no announcement, though. I mean, can't you at least wait till there's an announcement before anybody says anything?
Well, I mean, a lot of people say like they're waiting for the Super Bowl, which I don't know. Like to me, if they announce it on the Super Bowl, it'd be overshadowed by the Super Bowl.
Exactly. MD, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, is when people keep saying that. Like when Lance Armstrong popped positive and they were trying to cover up the whole positive, like the drug test and the scandal, and Congress dropped the case, you announce it during Super Bowl weekend when no one cares about anything but the Super Bowl. Like when you want to hide things, you announce it on Super Bowl time.
Exactly, bury the news.
Exactly, because Super Bowl's carrying the news. No one gives a fuck about anything else. The Super Bowl's the number one watched thing in America. It's the only thing that people care about, that everybody likes. Like, unless they're going to spend $4 million on a 30-second or 1-minute commercial and advertise the fight, I don't think it's going to make any impact advertising it on Super Bowl Sunday.
Exactly. And Floyd thinks he's big, but he's not big enough. I don't follow American football and stuff, but I can't see that Floyd's big enough to go up against that sport.
No, nothing in the world, nothing in the United States is big enough to go up against the Super Bowl, period.
That's why he might announce his fight if it's a shit fight. If it's a fight that we're not interested in, he'll just slip it in there, halftime show.
Yeah, all Floyd.
Kev, I don't know about that, Kev.
What?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that theory. I mean, because just by you saying it, but by the fact of you saying that it's the most watched television program up to date of the year, of course, that kind of in itself lends for it to be a paradoxical statement, does it not?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to spend $4 million on a commercial and get a commercial to announce the fight. Well, so if they
right, but let's say
fight,
that's besides the fact, though.
No, but I'm saying if they're going to announce the fight, it's just going to be a regular press release, and it's not like that's going to lead. Like if they had a press release that comes out, like that's going to be like the 38th minute on SportsCenter following or around the Super Bowl.
Why are you already assuming that they're not going to have a commercial just because of the dollar figure?
Oh, I'm operating off that assumption because I don't think when networks are splitting money and these fighters are splitting so much money that they're going to drop $4 million on a commercial. I could be wrong. I mean, and if it is, then it obviously would be the best time to advertise it. But like I said, like if they draft a press release, like this will be it might not even get a mention until SportsCenter until late in the show. Whereas if it wasn't on SportsCenter, if it wasn't on Super Bowl weekend, it would get, it would open up SportsCenter and every other talk show.
And I work in advertising, and that airtime got sold 4 or 5 months ago. Honestly, they're making those big ads for those things. They're making them in before Christmas. So that time.
The thing is, what network? It's on NBC, right?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl this year.
You always talk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's on NBC, and the only reason why I bring that up is, I'm actually agreeing with some people in the chat. Like, I think let's just put the dollar figure out of the equation. Again, most people, well, not most, but a large percentage of the people who watch a Super Bowl do so for the commercials. And I'm saying if they do buy ad space, fuck a press release. I'm talking about just a commercial in and of itself. If they manage to somehow get a 30-second blip, I think that would make a big impact in terms of making or generating interest for that fight.
But it's seriously like what KH said. Like it doesn't matter. Like so what? So they have a 30-second commercial, and for like 10 seconds, people are going to be freaking out, and the fight's happening. Then the football game continues. Then the media continues the next day, and then nobody's going to be talking about it. Nobody's going to be talking about it.
And then the football season ends. And then the football season ends.
And then for the next week, they'll talk about the Super Bowl all through the American media. Come on, man. Think about that.
They don't talk about the Super Bowl for the next week. They'll shift into another sport that's more relevant and current. That's what they do they not? That's what news is, right?
NFL is going to
They don't talk about – come on, dude. They don't talk about the result of the game for a whole fucking week after it ends.
I disagree.
They talk about a more current event.
And to add to Lim's stance, I mean, when has Heyman and Showtime ever really been known to be frugal with their money these days?
Yeah, but they won't. Honestly, they won't. That time is gone. They're not getting that space. Even if they had to go and buy up another company, they're going to have to pay double it.
Well, if it's
I don't
NBC,
like talking
I can
money.
see them figuring it out. I mean, NBC's invested in boxing's popularity at this point.
And the only reason why I bring that up, I don't know why I'm putting so much, effort into this discussion, but today I was listening to a podcast on Grantland, which is a subsidiary of ESPN, and they had a podcast with Al Michaels, who's, one of the most revered sports color guys on TV, and even he was discussing this new, relationship with Heyman on NBC and on NBC Sports, and I obviously shitted on Heyman more than anyone, but it's clear that he's making some kind of impact on the mainstream. And I'm not saying that he's going to buy a commercial. That's besides the point. I'm not saying I don't want to focus specifically on a 30-second commercial. That's not my point. All I'm saying is, certain things will be heightened if you do mention them, subsequently, before or after the Super Bowl. Because I don't know, man. I just feel like you guys are thinking that 100 or 90% of the population who watches Super Bowl only do so for the Super Bowl game. And I just don't think that's the case.
Yeah, but you also have to think about it. Floyd Mayweather has a little bit of a checkered past, including domestic violence. And I don't know if you understand how the NFL and domestic violence have had what do you mean? Come on.
Just like Ray Rice beat the shit out of his wife. And
then look what happened after. We have to sit and watch commercials about people crying about domestic violence, man. Think about it, man.
On commercials saying
never
again. Like, if you watch...
Okay, has a popularity subsided at all? Violence. Has the popularity of the sport subsided at all?
Because they spent a lot of money trying to save the reputation of the NFL. I mean, I don't know. That's just how I feel.
That's fair, MD, but the ratings have gone up consistently, regardless of all these domestic violence cases, man.
Well, I mean, I don't think that it's a good publicity to have. Let's just say they interview Floyd Mayweather. Or do something in that regards. That the NFL has a connection to Floyd Mayweather, and I don't know. I feel like that could be an area of negative press, but that's just my opinion.
Why would the NFL be connected with Floyd Mayweather if they're two separate events?
Because if they either give Floyd Mayweather airtime on the Super Bowl, which is the biggest event for the NFL, but I don't know. Enough talking about this.
All right, let me jump in. The chat are typing black hole. So we're gonna move off topic. Boxing MD, thank you for calling in. I
appreciate it.
No worries, thank you. Let me get to Dan. Did you watch the fights of the weekend?
I don't know. I did, but it was a shit fight. I don't know. I don't think this is that much. I feel like our black holes or people that view certain things as black holes interest me for some reason, but I don't know. I guess going back to what the Cotto Canelo topic that they're discussing, I honestly don't care too much. I think Cotto obviously is vying for that Mayweather fight, so he has every right to make as much money as he wants.
Okay. Liam, you don't think he makes as much money fighting Canelo as he did fighting Floyd?
No, I don't think so. I think that's the reason why he to try to delay those negotiations as much as possible. Because I can see it kind of in a non-biased manner. I think the reason why Canelo or Cotto staved off that fight was because he wanted to gauge exactly how much he would be making fighting Mayweather. He's just, I guess Cotto's just a more sound businessman in that sense.
And the only reason why I say that is because they were throwing out $10 to $12 million guarantees for Cotto fighting Canelo, and I mean, last time he fought Floyd, that's what he made, and that did 1.5, and Floyd got 32 million at the time was a record purse. So I don't see them offering Cotto much more than they offered him the first time, because they can't expect to do 1.5 million again. They might do it, but I doubt they're going to expect to do it.
I think as well as that.
I think Heyman would be.
Go on. No, I'm saying, like, as well as the money, I think Cotto with his whole I want to be the A side on the middleweight champ. I think Canelo and Oscar, because it's Mexican, it's the Cinco de Mayo, they're probably repping themselves as the A side, and Cotto's had a little fucking pooty with that, and he's probably said, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go off and try and fight Mayweather.
Yeah, I don't know the exact details in regards to the A side, B side bullshit, but I don't know, Kev. I think Heyman and Floyd would probably give Cotto a larger purse than necessary, just because Floyd doesn't have any other options at this point. I'm not defending that Cotto Mayweather fight. I'm not defending it, but at the same time, it's the only somewhat justifiable substitute for a non-Pacquiao fight, and therefore I could see him making 20 mil for that fight.
So maybe that takes money off of Floyd's back end in order to make it happen.
Let me ask everybody on the panel this: if it does go down, if Cotto and Mayweather fight again, does Roach make a difference in Cotto's corner, or it's just a repeat of the first one?
Depends how far they drag Cotto down.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
don't
the
care. I
thing,
don't think
though.
the weight's an issue. I think Cotto makes
Nah, me
154
neither.
easy, obviously.
He'll drag him to like 155.
But I'm saying, if you even followed him for the Delvin fight, Roach was like,
Yeah.
he was on weight 3-4 weeks out of the fight. Roach was talking about bringing him back down to 147 if he wanted. Like, I don't think Cotto has any problem making 154, so 155 wouldn't be an issue. And I've been the one that's basically probably been promoting Roach's job more than anybody else with Cotto, talking about how he's hitting the bags hard and just hitting everything hard in training. But I just don't think that's going to make a difference in this fight. I think, Floyd's going to pick him off and sharpshoot him the same way.
It's funny how Khan's been completely fucking rejected by Floyd. Like, this Cotto's given him a bit of an excuse to avoid the Khan fight.
Yeah, I wanted to get into Khan a bit later because of Pacquiao's visit to London.
Do you guys think Khan gives him a tougher fight than Cotto?
Oh, shit.
That's the brown hole right there.
Pause.
That's a cam hole.
Whoa.
Pause.
Quit complicating.
Whoa.
Okay, guys, let me just get to... Okay, guys, let me just get to Segura, who's been patiently waiting on the line. Hey there, Segura.
What's going on, boys?
How you doing? You well?
I'm doing well. So I didn't check in until about 45 minutes in, but has anyone touched on the Alvarado most likely being drunk, before or maybe even during the fight?
Drunk and high.
I think that slow-ass ring walk was to shake off some contact.
So, Segura, you got a really bad line. I don't know if it's wind noise or something on your line. Are you on your phone?
Oh, yeah, I'm walking my dog.
Are you still in Denver?
I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm out in Denver. I'll mute
Did you see
myself.
Alvarado in a ditch somewhere?
You're doing the training that Alvarado should have been doing.
Walking his dog.
Segura said he'd be back after he's got home. So, okay. Anything else you guys want to discuss that you've seen?
What about this actual Canelo Kirkland fight? Does anyone think it's going to be a good fight? I think it could be fun.
I don't see the hype for it.
My boy Nothing for something in the chat said that Kirkland doesn't even have a trainer yet.
Yeah. Is that fight actually happening? Is it announced?
Is it pay-per-view or is it like just televised?
No,
it's regular HBO.
Regular.
I haven't seen anything official. I've just seen Canelo tweet it.
It's regular HBO, but I won't believe Kirkland's fighting until he's actually in the ring and the bell rings.
Why does it have to be Kirkland? They couldn't find anyone better.
That's not. I don't think that's that bad of a fight.
Yeah, but
I think it's because last time they were talking about Kirkland, it was a fun fight.
Yeah, apart from GGG, who would you rather?
He's not going to fight Triple G yet, though. HBO just got him. They're not going to throw him to the wolves that quickly.
But shouldn't we be shitting on that, though? Shouldn't we be shitting on that? Because, come on, I don't get this. Yeah, we complain like we don't get good fights, but then when there's a chance for us to get good fights, we say, nah, he's being thrown to the wolves. Fuck it.
But how could we shit on him when he tried making the biggest fight that was possible and the one that everybody wanted? He wanted the Cotto fight. Now he's left with no fight to date.
Okay, cool. Then who's the next credible guy for him that he can fight? That will be like...
There is no one.
It's got to be
Exactly, Dan. Who is? You name him with somebody else. He's already fought Lara.
Want to see
He's already fought,
It's a fun fight, man.
Exactly, Dan. It's a fun fight. The guy's a beast.
Good fight. Good fight.
It's a fun fight to watch my boy throw those beautiful fucking combinations that arouse the best of the best. Come on, you know.
Yeah, man. You just want to see Canelo.
I want to see those combinations fly. It's been too long,
Yeah.
I can't resort to training videos for the rest of my life, I need live action, bro.
Yo, boys, I'm back on. Lim, I listen to the show a lot. I know you love Canelo. Aren't you a little afraid Kirkland might hurt him, though? He talked about, beautiful combos.
You think Kirkland's got beautiful combos?
You the slightest bit concerned that Canelo's face might get a little bit scarred up?
Of course. I'm always
concerned,
man. Exactly. When he's walking around the city, I get concerned every day, Segura. That's comes with the territory. The Canelo's walking his dogs. someone might scratch him on the face on accident. That worries me, but going back to Kirkland, man, I don't know. I've never I always had a discussion with Nauta in the future. I never thought Kirkland was that heavy of a puncher. It was just his volume that always gave people trouble. I don't know. What's your take on it?
My take is, just what he did to Tapia. I guess Tapia is not a real, super renowned guy, but just him just being so relentless. I don't think that Canelo has faced something like that. I think Canelo's relentless as well. I think he's a beast, but I think that fight, if you're gonna cancel that Cotto Canelo fight, which was disappointing, just fucking throw Kirkland in there. I'm cool with it. I was going to AC. I went to AC for the Hopkins fight, Hopkins Kovalev, and I was telling my friends, this Kirkland Rosado fight is going to be fight of the year. And when he pulled out, I was pretty upset about that. But so he might pull out of this one too, don't you think?
That's a good point. Hey, but going back to it, you remember when everyone was trying to hype up and build up that Angulo Canelo fight? I feel like that's this fight. Those valid reasons, or not, obviously not valid at the time, that people were defending Angulo. Those are valid reasons.
People are chemo.
It's going to be a good fight. I'd say two other people. Other than
chemo. There was a bunch. They almost convinced me to lose my money in a bet. I was pissed.
Right. I don't know. I do agree that Kirkland is relentless, but at the same time, he has a shaky chin in my opinion, and I feel like that's hard to practice.
You think this fight turns out the same way? I could see Canelo dropping him early and then it just being uphill from there for Kirkland.
Yeah, I don't know, man. One thing about Canelo that I actually am worried about is his power. I'm not quite sure how much power he has at 154, because he doesn't have that concussive power that I think his technique lends some people to believe.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I just think he throws sharp combinations, and if you land clean, that's sometimes your power is in basically how you land. If you land clean, it's going to be better. And I don't know. It's just a shame we're not getting the Cotto fight, man. Fuck, man.
That's true. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, what happens if Cotto isn't Floyd's opponent? What does Cotto do then?
There's always June 6th and Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend in New York, where he could fight pretty much anybody and have a good crowd. But I mean, Andy Lee's already wrapped up, I think, so that was being talked about.
Is that done yet? That Andy Lee fight? Quillen?
I don't know, but I heard from the people at the Garden that he doesn't even have the June date rented out at this point. So.
Hey, I heard they were going to try and make Quillen Lee, but Lee's gone to purse bids with Warren tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
With Warren about what?
With Saunders. The WBO's ordered the purse bids for tomorrow morning between Lee and Saunders.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean, fuck that, man?
KH still salty about.
He's well salty about
Saunders beating my boy Eubank.
You sounding saxo-y, man.
I don't know. I would just rather see Andy Lee fight Miguel Cotto or Kid Chocolate.
Nah. Saunders has to give him that work first.
I'll tell you one thing.
Hopefully Lee fucking crushes Saunders and he can move on to some decent fights.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's going to lose in his first defense.
He's going to be using that Gorbachev like a target right on the left side of his grill.
I'll tell you, I'll be disappointed if Andy Lee takes the money to fight Quillen. He's dead to me.
He can't take it.
He's dead to me.
Because Warren and
give him that belt back.
Saunders stepped aside for him. He can't.
Yeah, I think he'll get stripped if he does that.
He could just vacate though, couldn't he, and just go.
Yeah, he can vacate, but Quillen don't want to fight him. Quillen wants to fight him because he wants to get that belt back.
Yeah.
The little bitch.
God, I wanted to see that Andy Lee Kid undercard fight, man.
I want to see Andy Lee in fucking Ireland. That would be an unbelievable atmosphere. But Warren will probably win it and put it in the fucking XL with about fucking 1,000 travellers fucking pissing in on the aisles and shit.
No, there'll be at least 5,000 travellers actually. Yeah. There was a lot of them that night.
Yeah,
they were ready for war that night.
How do they afford the tickets?
They got money.
And they get discounts. Saunders hooks them up. But they have money, like Leon said.
They got money.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let me move on to Ari's favourite boxer, Amir Khan. Manny Pacquiao was in London recently.
Is he going to Wembley?
He's going to Wimbledon. Yeah. But Manny Pacquiao was in London recently. He bumped into Khan at I think a gym in South London. I think it was.
Fucking Khan was stalking.
Did he hurt him? Did he bump it? I don't know. He bumped into him. Did he fall?
I think he dropped him. Yeah.
No,
but
it wasn't chin related. Dude.
You guys just think this is
related?
You guys just think this was a
fucking wait at the airport with a big sign.
All right, guys. Let me talk now. That's enough. You guys think this is just a media opportunity, or do you see any real talks that maybe this fight will happen if Floyd does go the Cotto route or another route? Can you guys actually see Khan and Pacquiao in London this summer?
I can see it.
In London? No chance.
No, I think Pacquiao was just using him, to be honest. Unfortunately, because if it was in London, I'll get to meet up with my boys again.
He'll make money. He could make money off that fight, serious money.
I can totally see it happening in London. I would have to see what the tax treaty is with the UK and Philippines, but why not London?
The tax treaty. They'll make one for this fight.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't see Manny Pacquiao
they probably
fighting
don't
in the
have
US
one
unless he's fighting Floyd. Period.
Exactly.
I don't think he wants anything to do with the US IRS anymore. He's going to be ducking the US IRS bad.
Forever.
My promoter.
For me, it's like there's been a video with iFilm London. I asked you guys if you watched it. No one replied. Basically,
I've seen it.
Hans put a proposal for 7:30 split for the winner for Brook and Khan, and up to now, Khan ain't responded yet. Right? It's like, he's playing it strategically. He doesn't want to lose to, high risk, low rewards until once he's fought Floyd. Because if you fight Floyd and you lose, it's like, well, we expected you to lose anyway, so you could go back to the high risk, low reward fights.
I want to know why
that
Roos
has to do with Floyd. That has to do with Khan Pacquiao. How?
No, because
I'm just fucking with you, man.
No, but to respond directly to that,
I think for me,
I was at a low reward, Roos, if it's a big ass payday.
No, but why is it not responding to it then? If you're confident you can beat everyone else, respond
You're trying to get other fights.
Let me talk, because I don't think the Pacquiao fight is gonna happen, right? You're wasting time, Amir Khan. Just like, you know what, these people are putting an offer. Let me go for that.
Okay, Roos, can I respond?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of when this proposed fight would be?
Okay, even if it's gonna be in September, you got people like fucking what's his name, Porter. He's waiting for a fight. Why don't you take that warm up?
He's got a fight.
Porter's fighting on the undercard.
On the NBC cards, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on the undercard.
Yeah, Porter's fighting somebody I never heard of.
Yeah,
okay, that's what I'm saying.
One of his old sparring partners, actually.
Right. If Khan had to step up to Porter, do you think that would be more of a credible fight for him to turn down? Porter would gladly, ditch this other fight and go and fight Amir Khan.
Okay, Roos, if Khan and Brook fight in September, it's going to be too cold to fight an outdoor arena.
He's got Ramadan anyway.
And it's too cold to fight in an outdoor arena.
I'm saying it's January now. Yeah.
Okay.
Before the Ramadan starts, you can squeeze in 2 fights.
Yeah. But you telling me that?
One should have been prepared, right, 3 months ago, right, to fight in January, and then the next one you do in summer.
Are you talking about Brook? Or are you talking about Khan?
I'm talking about Amir Khan, but he's dilly-dallying, waiting for Mayweather, fucking around.
No, but Roos, remember, he only just fought last month,
He fought in December. He's not going to fight again in January. And also, Roos.
Okay.
This is what's
killing you, Roos.
Eddie Hearns said months and months ago he's booked Wembley for an early to mid-June date. So what happens is Brook fights March 28th. That gives him 10 weeks until the June date. Gets a couple of weeks off, 8-week camp. Calm Brook, Wembley, called it.
I don't think that's enough time. I don't think.
Shout out to the chat. Danny Boy says these guys are talking bullocks, and then my boy Tony Bellew said this guy is as punch drunk as Chisora.
that was a low blow, man.
No, but going back to Joe, I don't think 8-week camp for Brook against Khan
To
is
Joe?
enough. Yeah, to Joe Morgan.
Oh, my bad. I was thinking of Ski Mask. My bad.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think 8-week camp for Khan, preparation for Khan, is long enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's coming off that
How long
fight.
does he need?
Yeah, but he's in camp. He's in camp now for this date against Dan. Comes out, couple weeks off, then he's back into camp for Khan.
Yeah, but we don't know how he's going to look in March. His leg injury might play a big factor in how he performs.
Yeah, but come on, mate. It's only a fucking leg injury, mate. It's not like he's fucking broke his back or something.
No, but come on, that was a machete.
Nah,
Yeah. No,
We're not talking about he pulled his hamstring here. We're talking about his leg could have been cut off.
Yeah, but it's not like a fucking ligament thing or a muscular.
It was a ligament thing.
Yeah, but it's not in his knee, is it? It's just on his thigh.
Still important, man.
What, you think that he's going to bang for a punch and suddenly his leg's going to split open?
No, I can't agree with Ari, man.
No, I agree with Ari as well.
Come on,
man. That's
if they were worrying at one point, they're worrying about if you would even walk again. You're talking about.
Oh man, that's the Sky hype job, mate.
It might have been, but it was a machete.
Yeah, and it's hard to do leg raises.
And if that hit
injury.
how close was it to artery? It must have been close.
Well, not only that, it's just for me the.
Oh no, man. I think
the primary concern.
I think it's being a bit harsh.
Yo, let's get back.
Let's
get Boxing MD back on the line and ask him. That was a joke that went wrong. So.
Have you got a tumbleweed little thing?
No, I need to get a tumbleweed soundtrack. No, actually, I got the crickets. Let me play my crickets for myself.
No. We only save that for Ski Mask.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Like Dave, you've been a bit quiet. What's your thoughts on the Khan situation? Can you see him fighting Pacquiao?
Yeah, I could see that fight. I don't think it's really a good fight for Pac, but to be honest, I actually kind of feel like that's more of a publicity stunt. Maybe to put pressure on the negotiations with May Pac, or maybe just to get him out there. But I don't know. I don't think that's a good fight for Pac. I think Khan makes him look bad, to be honest.
Oof.
Oh,
I disagree.
And you guys can disagree all you like.
Let's go toe to toe.
I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I don't know.
I like Khan. He's a great boxer, but I want to see him in fights where he can be competitive. And I think Pacquiao, his angles are just gonna ruin Khan.
And those stories about Pacquiao when he did try in sparring, putting Khan down often are pretty well known and undisputed.
Yeah, really, Kev? Because Khan always acts like he never got hurt.
Khan does act like a lot of shit, but he also said he sparred. He also said he sparred Andre Ward, so
exactly.
We could say that. And Pacquiao's notorious for going like 60% in sparring, and most people validate that. But every now and then he turns it on, and he just fucking. What's up?
More like 50, bro.
Yeah. All right, I got you.
Oh man! Can I tell you a cool story, bro?
Yeah.
I've seen Manny spar when what's his face? Who's the guy that fought on that Bradley undercard just recently? The young kid, Benavidez.
Yeah.
When Pacquiao first sparred Benavidez, like this is when Benavidez was like 18, like he was getting the work, but fucking Pacquiao would take like minutes sparring like Floyd, and then he would do his like fucking a slick boxing impersonation, and he'd do like the rabbit ear punches, you know what I mean, like a double punch on the head. Like he never really took his sparring seriously. So I mean, Khan can say whatever he wants, but I don't think we should put too much faith in anything he says.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it too. I've just heard about him one time at least knocking him basically out cold against the ropes and dropping him a couple times in sparring.
He said that?
No. I know I've heard Pacquiao doing that to Khan in sparring.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but boys, we can keep going on and on with all these stories about sparring. Like someone came out before the Wilder fight, said he put Hay asleep for a quarter of an hour. But We've got to
Quarter of an
seriously,
hour.
like, I'm a big Khan fan, you know, rep the flag and all that, but I can't see him beating Pacquiao, no chance.
Let's see.
All right, guys.
Khan did it in defense of Khan. He did look real good and really fast and physically impressive against Alexander. So I think that's a good fight. And I think if that fight happened at any other time except after a Pacquiao versus Floyd finally like negotiation fail, like I would love to watch that fight and lay out money to watch that. I mean, I won't.
Yo, did you guys talk about that Matisse fight?
No, we haven't got to that yet.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned it as in like the winner, Rios fighting the winner of Matisse versus Provo.
But it's not 100% signed yet, though, is it? Provodnikov and Matisse is not signed yet.
I don't see it being an issue now that Matisse is not with Heyman and stuff. So.
Yeah, there's something on boxing scene saying it's not 100% yet. But like you said, I can see it happening, and I love that fight, man. Even though it's Rock'em Sock'em. Even though it's Rock'em Sock'em, man, I think that'd be a great fight to watch.
You think that's fight of the year, Dan?
Yeah. How could it not be? On paper.
Yeah.
It has to be, yeah.
Yo, like, who you guys got? Let me start from Kev. Who would you pick in that fight, Kev?
I'd probably pick Matisse. I think Matisse has a little bit more varied his skills a little bit more than Provodnikov.
Dimensions, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dimensions. That's where I was stumbling over and I got into vary somehow. Yeah, I think he's a little more multi-dimensional than Provodnikov.
Okay.
Dave, yeah, you know what? That's true, but my bad. Go ahead, Dave.
Dave, who do you think would win that fight, Matisse Provodnikov?
I'd have to lean towards Matisse, man. He's just more proven, bro. Provo constantly getting battered and looking like shit afterwards, you know? Herrera made him look real shitty after that fight.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't. He really shows the wear during the fight as well. You could tell, like he feels the damage, whereas Lucas kind of seems to push past it. So, I mean, in that fight, for me, it's like two forces going head to head. I don't see much skill in that fight. I mean, of course, there's going to be skill, but it's really more a brawl. Who can outlast?
Yeah, Ari, who would you go for?
Sorry, I was away for a second. What were you talking about?
Just talking about Lucas Matisse versus Ruslan Provodnikov. Who would you pick in that fight?
I think I got Matisse. Yeah, I got Matisse, but I'd say by stoppage due to swelling of Provodnikov's face.
Yeah. Yo, Reese, what's your thoughts?
It would be like an ugly brawl, and I think if Matisse gets a cut and a bump on his head, he won't be the same fighter anymore. And I think Provodnikov will just come at him. I'll say Provodnikov.
Okay, Leon.
I've got Matisse. He's got more boxing skills than people give him credit for, like Kev said, and I think he definitely hits harder. I think he's got a chance of knocking him out, where I don't think Provo would knock Matisse out.
Okay, Daniel.
I totally disagree.
I disagree.
I completely admit that Matisse is a better fighter, but to me, Lucas doesn't take punches very well. And Provo is fucking relentless. He might not be a very skilled fighter, but he's going to be in your fucking face for 12 rounds of fight. And Lucas is, one of my favorite fighters, but I do feel like he might be hiding a little bit of China under that chin. So I got Provo.
Okay.
True. And Provo definitely leads a history in boxing and sending people to the hospital and losing decisions. So, I mean, like, I don't know how it happens. Like, he fucks people up and closes their eyes and bruises up their face, concusses them. They go to the hospital and can't show up at the post-fight, and he's explaining on how he lost somehow.
Like my main man Beep says, styles make fights. Okay? And that's what you guys are forgetting here. Styles make fights.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, sorry, I didn't take that into consideration. I picked Provo now.
Okay, let me get...
No, but seriously, Leon, I mean, if you think about it, the only style that is probably going to beat I know, but the only style who's going to probably beat Provo is a guy like Chris Algieri who eats avocados for breakfast. That's the only style.
And I definitely don't see Lucas cooking his own toast. No way.
Yeah, especially not multi-grain toast. Probably
Never.
The bum-ass white toast. That has too many carbs in it.
How about this? And Dan, I know you think Molina's got that of mice and men Lenny strength in his right hand. Do you think he punches harder than Ruslan, or do you think Ruslan punches harder than Molina?
That's a good question. You know what? My favorite Molina is a harder puncher, but the thing about Ruslan is he throws them so much more at a higher clip, right?
And I think both of them throw hard enough to hurt Lucas.
Exactly.
I would like to see them stand next to each other because I would like to see who's bigger and who has the bigger reach and how that would come into play. I think the reach really bothered Provodnikov in the Algieri fight, where he was basically, you saw him planting his feet and not knowing what to do, being in and out of range sometimes. So,
because the thing about Provo is even if he might have the worst skin in boxing, like the guy is very, very durable in terms of his chin and his resistance to power punches. Whereas Lucas, even in that Danny fight, man, when Danny caught him with something big, you could just see it in his face and the way he fought. Like the guy doesn't react well to pressure.
Yeah, he got nervous early in the fight. I think it was the second or the third round where he got clipped, and you saw it was like a deer in the headlights look, and he was kind of cautious for the next round and a half after just getting clipped the first time.
Kev, he's got 3 inches reach advantage, Matisse.
Yeah, and that was the reason why I picked Matisse. I think he has more dimensions, and I think he has the physical advantage, but I think that's a 50-50 fight. That's a great fight, man. I hope it happens.
Yeah,
I hope it happens. I hope it's on free HBO, and it's not like an undercard of a big fight or something. I just hope it's not they try scheming us somehow.
Yeah, Kev's tired of making poker games at his house to provide.
That's what I'm saying, man. These fucking guys are degenerates.
and shout out to Matisse for dropping Heyman. Hopefully he comes out and gives us some truth about what he's really like. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if he starts running his mouth off? I'd love to hear what he's got to say.
Unfortunately, he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, we can get someone else to run his mouth for him then.
Yeah, we'll get
Mao can go down and do a little interview.
We'll get Mao to translate.
Exactly.
I was about to say that. But Joe, I didn't get your thoughts. Batiste or Provodnikov?
So I'm just fucking thinking about that fight.
What the fuck was that, man?
You know what it was.
I'm hoping it's not what I think it was.
It was.
Don't worry, man. I do that. I do that to Canelo all the time, Joe.
Yeah, man. It fucking. I see.
So you're admitting to it.
Yeah, man. Fucking what a fight. I think I see the quit in Matisse though. I see it.
Yo, Dan, you've had the worst mic noise today, man. Like your mic's rubbing on your clothes or something, Dan.
Come on, dude. I'm doing it as we speak. I can't function.
Okay, Joe. Sorry, back to you, Joe.
Yeah, no, I fucking I quit in Matisse. I think Provodnikov stops him late. He's just too relentless. And you saw it at the end of that Garcia fight. Garcia just beat the fight out of him. You know, I think it'd be a hell of a fight. I'd love to see it. Provodnikov late stoppage.
You know what? I'm leaning towards Provodnikov as well. I just think his output's going to trouble Matisse. Even though I question Provodnikov's gas tank at times, he seems to get gassed midway into fights. I just think, like Dan's saying, I don't think Matisse takes punches that well. Even though I'm a big fan of Matisse, but
the only way you beat Provodnikov is by moving and running. You can't stand there and war with him. He's just too strong and too resilient.
Yeah, and I think he thought that Algieri fight was a soft touch the way we all did, and I think that camp was more fat camp than him really getting in shape and determined for a fight. Because his output definitely went down and his energy was low, but he didn't fight like that against Bradley. You know what I mean? He didn't fight like that against Alvarado. He was a lot higher tempo, so...
I think with Provodnikov's swelling as well, it looks like it just gets to a certain point and then just stays like that. It's just like a tiny little slit where he can see out of, and then he's sweet.
Yeah. All right, guys. not much boxing next week. We've got the card in London, originally headlined by Anthony Joshua, but he pulled out with the back injury. I'll go to Leon because your boy Kevin Mitchell, I think he's in some type of eliminator against
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Daniel Estrada. What's your thoughts, Leon?
My thoughts are Tony Sims should just throw some Nando's sauce on him, and Kevin Mitchell might just eat him. That might be the way he beats him. But
some peri-peri sauce.
Yeah, he'll munch him up. Now, if he's doing the weight properly and he's training properly, he's not eating Nando's, he should beat this guy pretty. I think he'll knock him out in about 5 or 6 rounds. Well, he picked the 8th round himself. But yeah, I think he'll win easy and then get beaten when he goes for the world title again. I love him, but he's my boy. He's a West Ham, but yeah, he wins this and then his career will be over in the next fight. Unfortunately.
Ari, what's your thoughts?
That means too salty.
Ari, what's your thoughts?
I'm not too sure on this because what's the guy's name he's fighting against? Estrada. I've only seen him when he lost to Figueroa.
Yeah.
So I haven't got that much knowledge on him. And Mitchell, you never know if he's like past it. Obviously now more than ever, obviously he's got the work rate now. He's actually he's in training. He's doing his thing with a good trainer. He needed that like 5-10 years ago. Well, not 10 years ago, but 5 years ago when he was actually in his prime. Exactly. Because everyone knew about. Everyone's always been high on Mitchell. Exactly. Yeah, but it's just that he never had the work rate, and he liked to drink or whatever it was. So. But he has to win this. If he doesn't, it's over. But I guess I'd go with him by decision. But the Estrada guy, I didn't see nothing against Figueroa really. He was getting beaten up for like how many rounds it went for before he got stopped. So I'll go with Mitchell for.
He's fought no one at Estrada really, apart from Figueroa.
You thought that Arakawa guy that Figueroa fought and had a bit of a war with.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he won that in a technical.
You know what? I think this is going to be a tough fight for Mitchell, just because I think. I'm not going to say Mitchell got lucky in that fight on the Frotch Groves undercard, because obviously you make your own luck if he was still in the fight. But he was kind of getting beat up by that Maduma guy, and if it wasn't for Maduma gassing, I think he would have won that fight. So I don't know. I might go for Estrada, but
yeah, Mitchell was actually behind the cards on that.
Yeah,
he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a couple rounds behind. There was only 2 rounds left, so he got him out of there. Even though it was a bit dodgy. But,
so I don't know. Yeah. I might wait until the weigh-in and see how they both look and shit. That's my new technique.
And Estrada pick is definitely not far off in this.
I just don't want Leon like last time I went against the UK. Leon dissed me like fuck, man. When I picked Sean Porter to beat Cal Brook, man, Leon was very salty in the chat at me, man. I think he was drunk as well, and there was a few swear words thrown in there. But
I wasn't happy. with that pick. But I know why you picked it, because of your boy Khan, isn't it? That's why you know about the reality of that.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Okay, Roos, this is Eddie Hearn card. Riders on there also. Is your cousin still on the card?
No, we're going Hull on March 7th. We're on the Luke Campbell's card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who's your cousin, Roos?
Eric Ochieng.
Oh, the Eagle, yes.
Yeah.
But, Roos, make sure you hook me up with that ticket for that fight, yeah? I'll drive to Hull, but Roos, what's your thoughts on the Mitchell-Estrada fight?
Yeah, no, I think Mitchell should win that. He should win that. I don't think Estrada is as good as Maduma. But if Maduma gave Mitchell's problem, and he managed to take him out, I think he should overcome Estrada. So I'll go Mitchell on that.
Okay. Guys, I have to interrupt you guys because we have just been called in by the one and only Joe Habib. Are you there, Joe?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Joe. Nice to have you on the show.
Finally. Hey, Beeb, the problem is never not hearing you, Beeb. What's up, brother?
How you doing?
KH.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, Beeb, man?
Well, a lot of debate going on Twitter with the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now, but everyone's talking about Cotto Mayweather. And I think one thing people are overlooking is you're still going to have the Bob Arum factor if it's Cotto Mayweather. And again, I can't say this factually, but I strongly suspect that Arum still has options on Cotto. It's not a coincidence that Arum promoted Cotto's last 2 fights. Cotto's last 2 fights are on HBO. So I don't think that would be an easy negotiations either. So this fight's still going to happen with Pacquiao. I'm like 99% sure it's going to happen.
We don't really want to get back into that, to be honest. But what did you think about the Rios Alvarado fight?
Well, it seemed like a very big non-effort for Alvarado. If you listen to the post-fight interview, it was pretty obvious that he didn't train for the fight. It's not like he didn't say he wasn't prepared. He flat out said he didn't put forth the effort that he should have. So he basically admitted that he didn't train for the fight, prepare for the fight. And, I have to eat crow on that one because I said to myself, Alvarado's always had these outside interferences in all of his fights, and he's always been able to perform. But, this time it just seems like he just called it in, you know what I mean? He just called it in, took the paycheck, and that was it. And I normally never criticize a fighter for doing that because I think it takes courage to get in that ring. It's not something that everyone can do, but we've seen Alvarado, and it just looked like he wasn't even trying. That was like the worst effort that we've ever seen from Alvarado. So it's kind of inexcusable, I think.
Yeah, he was just getting that honeymoon money, I think.
Yeah.
And Joe, what do you see next for Rios?
I think Rios. This is kind of crazy, but I could see Rios fighting somebody like Jesse Vargas. I know Jesse Vargas is at 140. But he wants to move up to 147. And, Bob had told me that Jesse Vargas is not fighting Pacquiao. So Jesse Vargas is going to need an opponent. So I think that would be a good fight, good styles matchup, And Rios brings the pressure, and that's something that kind of troubles Vargas. So it'd be interesting to see, how that fight plays out because Vargas isn't the hardest guy in the world to hit. So that's a matchup that could happen. Because I think, we got Provodnikov tied up with Matisse, and that's another fight that we'd love to see Rios fight. But I don't know. I think that, there's bigger fights down the road for Rios. I just don't think they're going to happen right away. But, eventually they will happen. I mean, he has that style. Bob likes him.
So wouldn't the winner of the Provo Lucas be the natural opponent for Rios?
Could be, but when's that fight actually going to happen? I mean, don't you think Rios may have an interim fight in between them? Maybe?
Well, I think they said if the fight happens, it might be March 28th, so that's not too far off. Like maybe if the Rios fights the winner in August or something like that,
Yeah, that could happen. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. That could definitely happen.
And then this way, Rios might be able to squeeze in 3 fights in 1 year if that's the case.
I was thinking of the other night after watching that Gilberto Ramirez fight there. I was thinking that that may be a good opponent for Andre Ward in his comeback fight because this guy's ranked in the top 10 on all the sanctioning bodies, and he's ranked in the WBA. That would be a good fight for Andre Ward. Not a killer, but someone who's halfway decent. It may be too soon for Ramirez, but it's a good opponent for Ward. And again, Ramirez said he wants to fight those types of guys. He says he's ready for him. It didn't look like he was. Obviously, it looks like there's some potential there, but I don't know. You think that could happen? Because Ward's not going to fight the iron in his next fight. He's not going to fight the cream of the crop in his next fight. So,
yeah, I see him fighting more of an aging guy as opposed to an up and coming guy first. Because I don't think they want to derail this Ramirez yet. But where are you on Ramirez? Because we were pretty split here. Like guys like me and Cam were like, he's a little young, give him a chance, and other guys were just declaring him a straight bum, pretty much.
Well, that was a problem because he's been hyped up so much. I mean, Aaron was talking about him. Aaron was saying that he could beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He said he would knock him out in like 3 rounds. So obviously there's potential there, but it's the same problem when you get these people really hyping fighters up, young fighters up too much. Like Adrian Broner was a perfect example of that. I'm not saying that he's not still a decent fighter, but I don't think that some of these young kids are as good as they're being made out to be just yet. And, just because someone has potential doesn't mean that they're there yet. So let's wait it out. I have no problem waiting it out. I'm not one to throw a young kid under the bus so quickly. I mean, the kid did have some potential offensively, seems a little bit leaky defensively, but, you know, I'm sure that some of those things can be worked out. It's like the case of a fighter just committing too much to his offense and not really thinking about defense. Now, I don't know if that's because of the opposition that's in front of him, that maybe he's just overconfident. You know, I don't know if that will change if he's in there with a guy that he thinks that can hurt him. So let's see that. Let's see him in there. Let's see him, you know, push to the brink a little bit. See if he kind of becomes a little bit more defensive responsible, you know?
Definitely. Beeb, the landscape for US fights is quite empty for the next few weeks. I think the next big card is the Triple G Murray fight. I would like to know your thoughts on that fight. How do you see it playing out?
You know, it's just hard to see anyone standing up to Triple G now. Now Murray's, you know, the interesting thing that Murray brings to the table here is he's kind of like one of them rough and tumble type guys. He can make the fight awkward for Triple G. He can kind of, you know, try to make it one of those, you know, I'm not going to say like a Diego Chavez type fights, but he can push the envelope a little bit himself. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets physical with Triple G, if he tries to like tie him up and kind of walk him back, sort of like what Mosley did to Margarito. Because again, you know, the thing about Triple G is he'll throw a punch, but he'll always put himself in position to not get hit back in return, or he'll roll your shot and then, like, you know, simultaneously just flow right into his offense. So there's got to be a way for someone to stop that in order to beat him. You got to freeze up his really freeze up his offense, especially on the inside when you get close to him, because he's just so explosive. You know, he knows how to get in your chest, but he doesn't come straight at you. He attacks from angles, really varies up his punches, and it's hard to really anticipate what's going to come at you. You know what I'm saying? So he's just like one of those precision type fighters, and to, you know, disrupt someone like that, you got to kind of be unorthodox. You got to have like sort of like a Maidana type style. You got to get physical with him. You got to try to offset the rhythm and don't let this guy, be able to flow with his offense. And I think Murray has some of those qualities. Now, will he be able to do that? Will he be able to stand up to Triple G's power? Because he's going to get hit. He's not going to, not get hit. So, it's just going to be interesting to see if he can make this fight an ugly fight and kind of grind it out with Triple G, because that's his only chance. He's got to grind it out with Triple G.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to kind of smother him a bit like what Kasim Uma did, and just kind of not let him get in, like you said, not let him get into a rhythm. Because I think once you said like Triple G gets into a rhythm, then it's going to be all over. But for me, even though I'm a Brit, I'm from the UK. Martin Murray's from the UK. He's not too far from me. His style is a bit. It's not going to work for him. Like, he puts the earmuffs on. Like, he might be able to block the first and the second punch, but like the third and the fourth are going to get through. He is a big middleweight, which is good for him. But I don't think he's not really got the footwork either, man. So it's definitely going to be a difficult fight for Martin Murray.
He's got no power either. Power.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is some of these guys who aren't big punchers, they're physically strong, and Murray's kind of got some strength to him physically. Like, I want to see him kind of body Triple G, and I want to see how Triple G reacts to someone bodying him, because no one's ever really bodied him. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe Martin Murray may body him a little bit. Let's see if Triple G can kind of offset that a little bit. Let's see if he pushes off, creates a little bit of space, and nullifies Murray trying to do that. That's the interesting factor here, but it's just so hard to against this Triple G guy. I think Triple G has a legitimate chance of beating Andre Ward. That's why, I'd love to see that fight. People are sitting there saying, oh, well, why do you want to see, Triple G move up in weight? He's too small, blah, 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 blah. I'm not so sure about that. I think Triple G can definitely hold his own against Andre Ward.
Beeb, one last question from me is, we just before you jumped on, we were discussing Matisse versus Provodnikov, who we would think would win the fight and why or how. What's your thoughts on that fight if it gets made?
I like Matisse. I really do. I think Matisse is labeled sort of like how Maidana was labeled, just a slugger, just a brawler. I think he's got a little bit more boxing ability than people give him credit for. Taking nothing away from Provodnikov, I think he's kind of one-dimensional. I think he's very repetitive. It's like that pitcher that has that great fastball, and a lot of guys can't get around on it. But once you can get around on it and you can time it, There's nothing else that's going to come at you. So Matisse is another guy who can vary up the offense a little bit. He's not the greatest fighter on the outside, but he can jab his way in very effectively, and he's a mid-range fighter. Provodnikov is an inside fighter. So you got a guy that can fight in the mid-range, and Matisse can fight, hold his own on the inside as well. So there's a lot more versatility, I believe, from Matisse, as opposed to Provodnikov. I think that, he's a better body puncher. I think he throws better uppercuts. I just think that Provodnikov really likes to throw that left hook. I'm not saying he has a bad right hand, but I think he gets a little bit left hook happy. Sometimes he gets wide, and Matisse can throw straight shots. So you got a guy who can throw straight shots, short, crispy shots, as opposed to a guy who likes to wing shots and really get in your chest. And a guy that just moves straight back and forth. Like, this is a guy who just goes forward, and he just moves straight forward. There's not a lot of sophistication to Provodnikov. I'm not trying to denigrate the guy. He's just one of those guys that just overwhelms you. But if he's not able to overwhelm you, then you're going to win. I mean, we've seen guys beat him. I mean, not just Algieri. We've seen Herrera beat him as well. So, the guy's not invincible. He's definitely not invincible, and he can be outboxed. And we've seen Matisse, show us some variation. And even though I picked Danny to win the fight over Matisse, I thought that fight was very close and competitive. And I couldn't tell you, 100% certainty that he would beat Matisse in a rematch. I think it's a 50-50 fight again if Danny was to rematch Matisse. So I hold Matisse in very high regard.
I do as well, Joe. Kev, Dave, Ari, Roos, Leon, you got any questions for Joe while he's on the line?
Yeah. Like here on the coalition, we disagree and play a lot of devil's advocate. But it seems for some reason no one wants to do that with you, B, because, we're scared you might start shouting at us.
Well, I'm going to explain something. And, some people have seen it and some people haven't. If you look at the YouTube comments, the times when I get angry is when someone says, well, I question your knowledge, or what are you talking about? You're an idiot. And if you notice on the Boxing Voice show, me and James never argue. Me and Robbie never argue. If people don't disrespect me, then I'm not gonna.
Robbie argues with you as long as he's agreeing with Ness.
No, because I'll tell you, KH disagrees with me all the time, and I've never insulted him or yelled at him. Robbie disagrees with me. James, I think, but besides myself, is probably one of the guys who's one of the better analysts on the panel. I think a lot of people. I think Ness, with all due respect, I don't think he's really a good analyst. I think he's more of a reporter. He's a good interviewer. He's a good newsbreaker. Vic is the same. I think James and myself, we're the analysts on the panel. And, I made a statement and then I was refuted by not being debated, but, well, I question your knowledge in a very demeaning tone. So that right then and there set me off. If people want to use their platform and their forum as a bully pulpit, that's fine. But I'm not going to be your punching bag. You know what I mean? Anyone can disagree with me. They can say whatever they want. But, I'm not going to sit there and be insulted. And if you really listen to that show and you really listen to it closely, you have one certain individual that will say very derogatory things to callers. Oh, get out of here. What are you talking about? And he's just used to people going along with it. I mean, I'm just not that guy. I mean, I'm 45 years old. He's a lot younger than me, so I think he should show me some respect. That's all. And I don't think I'm better than anyone else. But then again, I don't think anyone else is better than me either. But I do respect people. But if you provoke me or you instigate an argument with me, I'm not going to back down. That's just the way I am. I admit I'm a loudmouth. I'm an asshole sometimes. I got a vicious temper. I got a very bad temper. I shut the show down that day because he muted me. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And my wrong was a lot worse than his wrong. But it was like the 3rd time he muted me, and I told him, don't mute me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you asked me to come on here, don't ask me to come on here and then censor me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're yelling just as much as I'm yelling. But the only problem is my voice is louder than yours. I mean, I can't help that. That's how I was born.
Beef, do you have any updates on James Jim? I know James hasn't been on the Boxing Voice much. He hasn't said it. We usually see him in our chat like often, James. So I don't know if you've talked to him about his gym at all.
James Meyer?
Yeah, Jameson with an I from the show.
James Meyer, Myher, whatever. You talking about him, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, the guy that comes on the show, Jameson.
Yeah. He was Jameson Rocket. Yeah, he was on the show yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the show yesterday. He was talking about a lot of things. Yeah, like I said,
he has a little gym going on. He's doing some training and stuff, right? You know anything about that or?
Yeah, he trains fighters in Arizona. He actually sparred with He sparred with a pro fighter, guy that fought Lomachenko there.
Gary Russell.
No, the Mexican guy there.
Salida.
Salida.
He had a little YouTube video. Yeah, I've been telling him he's got to find himself a bootleg Ellie Seckback to start getting some advertising on YouTube.
I mean,
on his
James
gym.
is in pretty good shape, man. He's in pretty good shape. He has like knee problems like me, but he's in good shape, man. He's in very good shape.
And what do you think if say this fight doesn't happen and it ends up being Cotto versus Floyd? Do you think there's a huge backlash and a big pay-per-view hit? Because say best case scenario, it ends up being Floyd versus Cotto and Pacquiao versus Khan. Two fights that without the negotiations falling apart for a Pacquiao-Floyd fight would be two fights that people will be probably pretty hyped and interested over. Do you think they suffer at the pay-per-view buys? Because I know people like me are going to just be hard-headed and stubborn enough not to buy it. Do you think it gets hurt a lot?
This is the thing. I mean, he's got to understand something. Because the last time, and I've said this is something I've said before. I said the longer this thing gets pushed off, the worse it's going to be for Pacquiao because he can lose again. Like, Khan can beat Pacquiao. I would actually bet Khan to beat Pacquiao. I think Khan can beat both Mayweather and Pacquiao right now.
What do you think the Khan betting line would be? About 2.5 to 1 for Pacquiao?
I think Pacquiao would be a 3-1 favorite over Khan, and I would bet the house on Khan because I think Khan would
bet with the money.
I think Khan would run circles around Manny Pacquiao. I think he would. Okay. I think he would kick his ass. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but I just think Khan would beat him. I don't think. I mean, the thing with Cotto is everyone saw that fight. Mayweather won the fight like 9 rounds to 3. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be at a catch weight. And again, you're still going to have the Arum and HBO factor. You know, it's not. Arum. I can't say this factually, but Arum must have some type of options on Cotto. And here's another thing too, right? Now, Mayweather has Mayweather Promotions, right? But let's make no mistake about it. They're not ready to promote this fight by themselves. Okay. So they're not really on great terms with Golden Boy right now. But I could see them working with Arum for this one fight. Like they need a big promoter to do this. Mayweather can't do this by himself. He's going to need a Top Rank or someone else, right? So of course they'll let him put his name on the ring or on the the ropes or whatever, and let him think that he's the big thing. But Mayweather Promotions is not going to be the lead promoter in this fight, whether it's presented to you in that way or not. They're not ready for it. They can't do this themselves. They have never done it before. You know what I'm saying? So they talked all types of shit about Golden Boy prior to that Maidana fight, and that Maidana fight came up. And I've used this example too. When Mayweather was negotiating with Guerrero, then he tweeted out, "I'm fighting Devin Alexander instead." I mean, Mayweather loves doing these types of things just to let people know he's in control. He doesn't want people to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He wants that doubt there. He wants that anxiety from people. He loves to play with people, push people's buttons, and keep people on edge. He likes to have people be in control, and he doesn't want Arum and Pacquiao to get comfortable, to think that they have any type of leverage or anything. And it's kind of childish on his part, but that's just the way he is. That's just the way he is. I mean, this fight's going to happen. Trust me. It's going to happen. It has to happen. There's just any other move that's made is just going to be a bad move. It's going to be a bad move.
Beeb, it's been excellent having you on the show. Have you got anything else you want to say before we let you go, Beeb?
No, I'm cool, man. I'll listen in.
All right, cheers, Beeb. Thank you.
All
right, guys, I think we kind of went over Mitchell Estrada, so shall we just do chat room roll call and then final thoughts and get out of here? Or you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I think we covered just about everything, right?
Yeah. All right, let me do the chat room roll call. So we've got Casual Fan, Loma Usyk Klitschko, Beast Mode, Chinaman, Dave the Sinister, Doe Masters, Arigo Boss, Davis Lee 1, Boxing MD, Harvey 29, Tony Bellew, Supermerc, Zulo 90, Dean Scores, my brother Scorsese, Nick G, TBE Chef, Simi 88, Danny Boy, Monaco 78, Hamada UK, Marcus UK, KH, Black Ski Mask Joe, Nothing for Something, Z334, Kid Galabum, Loco Mexican, Death via Prozac, Jesus Mark Breland, Joe Said It's True, Jas, Sully, BLH, and 14 guests. Okay, let me go around the panel. Leon, have you got any final thoughts for me? Leon has fell asleep.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, mute. Sorry. I was saying, if anyone wants to come and get that belt that I won this episode, anyone in the chat,
don't worry, man. I'm coming back, bro. I'm coming back.
Anyone wants some, get involved.
Yo, Leon, it sounds like Dave wants a rematch in toe-to-toe.
Okay, I'll pick the subject. We'll do it next week.
Okay,
sounds good, man.
Unless anyone else wants some.
No, I'm too scared.
And everyone else as well, come, if they want to do it without, doesn't have to be us, Someone call out Jose on his Broner love. There must be enough people in the chat who want to give him a little bit of a whooping on that.
No, definitely, like that. The whole toe-to-toe, it's not just for the panel members and people that phone up. Like, even people in the chat, if you guys want to come on and you got a beef with someone on Twitter or someone in the chat, jump on here and we can go toe-to-toe. Okay, Roos, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, no final thoughts for me.
Alright, cool, Roos. Ari, final thoughts?
Yeah, just shout out to Kid Galabum in the chat. He's had a meltdown tonight. He needs to change his name as well. So
He's been on the crack pipe.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like watching his boy go bum to just bum out for 10 rounds really affected him. So bless his heart.
Okay, thank you for that, Ari. Dave the Sinister, any final thoughts?
Just I'm coming back for that belt. Whoever's got it, I'm coming.
Yo, he's back. He'll be back as long as he's not with Mike Alvarado's trainer. Dave will be back. Okay, Kevin Horn.
I'm coming with Tim Lane, bro. I'm coming with Tim Lane.
Tim Lane. He's going to let you out in the cage.
No cage.
Okay. Kevin Horn, final thoughts?
I got to get in the chat today. Our chat's fucking funny. Breland killed it. Mark Breland in the chat killed it. We had good participation for the second straight week, and it was a good show. And I know I like hearing myself talk, so I like getting on and getting in a lot. But man, it's a lot better when we get this type of participation. So keep it up. Hopefully, you get some good boxing and some good shows, man.
Definitely, I co-signed that, Kevin. One more shout out to my boy Scorsese in the chat. I did say I wanted to plug his album. It'll hopefully be out late March, early April. The album will be titled Piece to the Puzzle. It's going to be a double album, 24, possibly 25 songs. There's no interludes, there's no intros, there's no outros. It's 24, 25 full songs. So if you're into hip-hop, especially
So
UK,
our toe-to-toe intro ain't on there?
Nah, we haven't got the rights to that yet. He's still keeping
ain't
the
right.
rights.
I'm gonna have to buy the rights. My people will call his people.
Yeah, definitely get it on. But yeah, 24, 25 songs. If you're into hip hop, if you're into UK hip hop, you definitely have to check it out. If you've
26, man, 26.
All right, we'll push it to 26 then. Oh yeah, he's in the chat. He just said 26. Even I didn't know, and I spoke to him yesterday. So there you go. But yeah, definitely check it out on iTunes when it's out. I'll obviously be dropping it and plugging it hard when it does come out. So definitely help support Scorsese. If you've not heard of him before, go to YouTube, type in SCORZAYZEE, Scorsese, one word, and check out some of his tunes on YouTube. We'll be back next week. Probably won't have much to talk about, but we'll be here anyway. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burn you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre. I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great.
Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass. Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish. Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.